Hey, shh. Calm down. The show is about to start. Reese on the radio. Turn it up. Turn it up low. Turn it up loud.
It's like a dream come true.
Turn on your radio. Reese is on the radio.
Yo, let's get it.
Due to the nature of this program, discretion does not exist. It's Reese on the radio. Right now on WTIC News Talk 1080.
Yeah! What's going on, all you scallywags? And of course, all you nutmeggers, conversationalists, young and old. Even the young ones getting into politics. And I ain't forget about you haters. It's Reese on the radio on WTIC News Talk 1080. Another day, another dollar, another 23 cents after Connecticut's taxes. It's Reese on the radio on WTIC News Talk 1080. We have a guest in the room. We won't get to him yet. But he is the person everyone's talking about. I'm just going to give him a round of applause because he deserves it. He's fighting the system. He's telling everybody in the world, we don't have to stand for this anymore. I also found out he doesn't listen to the show. He's never heard of the show, and that's fine. That's all right, because if he had, he would have heard what I said yesterday, and that was, say nothing. Say nothing. For those of you who may have missed it, because I know you don't listen every day, and those of you who do listen every day, you know what, you're my roadies. I know you're my road dogs. But for those of you who don't listen every day, on June 1st, I told you that everything that you saw on television was going to be about Pride Month. It was going to be anywhere and everywhere. You were going to be inundated with it. And you were going to be made to react. And, I was on our sister station this morning, WBEN, and I said the same thing to them. Do not react. The objective is for you to react. You don't get it? Let me explain. I'm going to use something I've talked about at length here on this very network. What was Black Lives Matter for? What was the term used for? Was it for black lives and black people to say that their lives matter? No. In fact, it never dawned on them. Never once did the members of Black Lives Matter wait for black folks to say, yes, my life matters. You're absolutely right. Hadn't thought of it. Never. It was about getting who to say Black Lives Matter? White people. In their view, the opposition. That's who had to say it. They were going to events, places like Bernie Sanders events, right? There were Democrat members of who were running for office. I can't remember who the Maryland governor was, but they showed up at his event. And folks on Black Lives Matter were screaming, does Black Lives Matter or all lives matter? And he said, all lives matter. Boo! Because again, it was about getting white people to accept that Black Lives Matter. Why? They didn't understand the white supremacy and that stupidity. I don't need white people to tell me that my life matters. What are you, nuts? You're giving the power to them. You're saying that the only way that your life is legitimate and matters is if white people tell you so. And so you demanded that they do it. Say my life matters. Please say it. Say it. So I know. And if you didn't, bigot, racist, you were being held captives. It was extortion. It always was. Well, folks, that's the left. And that's also Pride Month. Pride Month is not about pride. And it isn't about LGBTQIA+. It's about you. It's you accepting it as normal. And if you do not, you get admonished. That's how it works. It's that simple. So they draw you in with the Pride Month. Hey, it's Pride Month. Yes, we're going to flaunt our topless transgender parade everywhere. Naked men on bikes. We're going to ride by. And if you say a word, boy, is it curtained for you. Today on WBEN, I said this. I equate it to what Hezbollah does when they're fighting Israelis. They put the missiles inside the preschool or the hospital or the backyard of a family of 9. They fire the missiles into Haifa, they fire the missiles into Tel Aviv. The Iron Dome catches them, and then they target where the missiles came from. Boom! They destroy them. And then Haifa comes running, then Hezbollah comes running out and says, oh my God, they bombed this school. And that's what gets reported. A school got bombed. Not that it was a riddled missile silo. No. That's the objective. You respond, they destroy you. It's never about pride. If it was, they would just be celebrating themselves. The objective is to draw you in. And I was telling everybody on the 1st of June, don't do it. Stop falling for it. That's the objective. They want you to say something so that they can call you a bigot, a homophobe, and everything else under the book, and then you are absolutely eradicated. And then there's infighting and there's war. And again, I said, and I was hoping people were listening. I know that everybody could, but you should, because I understand how this war works. I understand them well. It is my job to understand them. It's my job to understand them and report to you. And look where we are today. Again, 2 days ago I said it. 2 days. And look where we are. They don't really care about the thing you think they care about. They don't care about children. They don't care about indoctrinating children. They don't care about getting those books into schools. They don't. What they plan on doing is weakening you. What they plan on doing is putting the focus on you in a negative way. And you can't let them do it. You can't keep falling for it. We are compelled by our need to make sure. It's our do-gooder complex, right? We're saying this isn't right, so someone has to say something. I don't disagree. Of course something must be said, but it has to be just as strategic as those who are attacking you. It cannot be knee-jerk. That never gets us anywhere. Never has, it never will. And what did I say to do? When you saw the parade of the transgender person who was topless with their breasts out in front of children, don't say anything. You don't need to editorialize. Get the video, post it and say, just going to leave this here. Let other people make the determination. People will see it and go, that's not good. And then respond. You leave it to them. If you're trying to lead them to water, if you're editorializing, you're no different than CBS. You're no different than ABC. You're telling people what to think. No, you just leave it there. And guess what? Every human nature just reacts. It responds. That's how it works. People see something that's just reprehensible and they go, yeah, that doesn't feel good to me. And you can say, look, I understand that they're expressing themselves, but these little hearts and minds are sacred. This is a bridge too far. They should know better. And you don't have to, again, you don't have to admonish them. You don't have to say a word to them. You don't have to call them disgusting. You don't have to call them this. You don't have to call them that. You just simply leave it there. Here you go. Do you think this is right? And people go, nope. And guess what? When they see it, they go, sweetheart, let's get out of here. And let's move on. They have no interest in reaching your hearts and minds. They have an interest in your outrage. Because it works for them. No one will ever hold them accountable for their behavior. The news media will be at every one of these parades and they will see every bit of that behavior. They will see the nudity. They will see the debauchery. They will see the displays that no one would allow their families, their own families, to see. They will see it all, but they won't report it. Your news at 6 and news at 10 and news at 11 will say, Pride Month was held in downtown. And they'll splice it to make sure that it's all good, clean family fun. As they bring attention to their lifestyles and represented people of the LGBT community throughout history. When we come back, weather with Stormfield. You, on the other hand, will sit there and go, they didn't show the stuff. There's no intention to. This is about your intolerance. And remember, they never cover the opposition's intolerance ever. When they're intolerant of you, it's never shown. Think about it. Right now, there's a story going on right now where in New York, they are removing the word mother or father to gestating and non-gestating. Why? Because they need to be more inclusive, I say with finger quotes. The interesting part is that mother and father are not included in the realm of inclusion. Couldn't we say both? Or all four? Couldn't we say gestating, non-gestating, mothers, and fathers? Couldn't we say all of them? We are inclusive, right? Including all. It's funny how the word inclusive means eliminating. But what happens when you say something about it? You're not inclusive. Well, neither are you, bozo. Neither are you. Say that thing that's relevant to the argument, but all the outrage that's meant to distract and to make you look like fools. Don't do it. You have to have a strategy. Now, in a little bit, we are going to talk to Jadon MacCormack. And we're going to talk to him about his post and talk about the reaction to it. I know that there are a lot of people out there who are applauding him. And I know there are some people out there who are admonishing him. But you're going to have to figure out where you stand on this. And what I mean by having to figure out where you stand on this is that you have got to be able to say, and that's on either side, that not only is Jadon allowed to believe what he believes, but he is allowed to stand on what he believes without fear or favor or without anybody attacking him. What Jadon should have done, I'll talk to him about. What he did, I don't admonish. In no way do I criticize it. I get why he did it, and I applaud him for it. But you have to understand how that is responded. And I'm getting a response from him that you won't hear on the news channel 8s or the, FSBs who interviewed him. No. You're going to get him raw and unfiltered right here on the show to get his reaction. So stand by for that. And if you don't believe me, I'll put him on camera right now. There he sits right there. If you're looking on camera, wave to him, Jadon. Tell him hello. And we got him in no time. That's because he was in town doing interviews with anyone and everyone else. Let me read a couple of comments in here. Lori says, God can and will break the labels that have held you hostage. It's a good quote. Robert Clark says, great opening. Anyway, who is the log cabin people? They are gay Republicans. God bless them. Because even though they're gay, they are still Republicans. Anyway, if you want to be accepted in mainstream, drop the labels. Equality means you don't need a special recognition. You are equal to everyone else. And John Beckman says, good morning from the left coast, unlike my political views, though. Thank you, John Beckman. It's been a minute. Welcome back. So give us some time. We're going to get to him. Roseanne is here as well. We'll talk to her. There's a whole bunch of news going on in and around the country, especially here in Connecticut. As I just said, we have this issue with whether or not we're calling mothers or fathers, fathers or mothers, which again sounds stupid and ridiculous, so that we can be inclusive of people who are not mothers and fathers. Trying to figure that out. But when we return on the other side of the break, we'll talk to Jadon MacCormack, and we'll get a lot more than just this controversy. We'll find out about his campaign. He is running for the 50th district to be a member of Congress here in Connecticut. And you live far, right? You're like way out there, aren't you?
Yes.
How far?
Now, I was at the state capitol today, so I was only 15 minutes from here.
You're only 15, but where do you live? How far away do you live?
I'm from Brooklyn, a very historical, agricultural neighborhood, and I love that area. That's why I want to represent it.
Okay, and you're a young guy.
I certainly am.
You are going to be my second youngest. No, technically you're my second youngest, But I'm about to have an even younger candidate in, what town is that in, sweetheart? What neighborhood is that? We just got the message from Adam the other day. Okay, I have to look it up. We're going to have her on very soon. But stand by. We're going to talk to Jadon. He's got an interesting spelling of his name. We'll get to the bottom of that, too. His parents are they're probably new with the name, because every Jadon I know is Jaden, and you are Don.
Right.
Jadon, is there a particular reason for that?
There is, and we can
okay, good. We'll get into that.
Yeah.
I knew there was a story.
Yeah.
You don't do that. You don't do that to the name Jadon unless there's a story behind it. We'll get into that. Ryan says Brooklyn in the house. It's not that Brooklyn, Ryan. It's not that Brooklyn. It's a more pristine and beautiful Brooklyn, not that downtrodden, pathetic Brooklyn in New York. I'm from Queens. We don't like Brooklyn. Brooklyn here is fine. Don't get me wrong, but we don't play with Brooklyn. She's from Groton? Okay, young lady's from Groton. That's a young woman. She's like 18 years old. Are you familiar with her?
Well, she's 17 turning 18.
17 turning 18 on Election day.
Yep.
What's her name?
Izzy, I think. Isabel.
Yeah, Isabel.
Yeah, Rude.
Yeah, Isabel Rude. And she's a business owner and an EMT and firefighter.
Right.
Goodness gracious.
Yeah.
How does she have time?
She's interesting.
Do you know her?
I don't know her personally, but I've been keeping an eye on her.
Yeah, it's very interesting. Anyway, so we'll talk to Jadon in a little bit. Stand by for that. We'll get into a whole bunch of stuff, and then we'll talk about this controversy with Pride Month, and the one that Jadon started, a big conversation everybody's having here in Connecticut. Stand by for that. We'll return. It's Reese on the radio.
Fan of WTIC? Then do us a favor. Download the free Odyssey app and favorite WTIC.
All right, we're back as promised. Let me turn that down. Wow, that was loud. We're back, Reese on the radio. Jadon MacCormack is right here in front of us, and we're talking about his controversial post. We'll get to that in a second, but I got this text message from Reggae Don, and he wrote this, and we have some breaking news on that, Reggae Don, because I know this is important to you. He wrote, Reese, do you realize that it's the majority of white people that is forcing their gay perversion on the rest of us? 99.9% of black people reject that lifestyle, Reggae Don says. Reggae, you're wrong on this one. Roseanne, you care to give two very important pieces of data that you were able to find in less than 5 minutes?
Sure. We'll start with the Pew Research of 2021 says that 62% of African Americans believe that homosexuality should be accepted by society.
Okay, again, hold on. Not 99.9% of black people reject that lifestyle.
No, a little difference there. But when we go to the 2024 statistic from the National Black Justice Coalition.
Okay, National Black Justice Coalition. I'm assuming this is a black-run organization of civil rightsers.
I would assume it is. This one says that 65% of the black community consider themselves supporters of LGBTQ plus people and their rights.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so just so you know, the white folks have accomplished a great feat. They have indoctrinated blacks across the country to 60-something% pro-LGBTQ. Just so you know. Okay? Anyway, with that, our guest is here. Jadon MacCormack joins us, who's created a lot of controversy over this post. Happy Straight Month. It's American to be Anti-Pride Month. This is America's 250th anniversary. In unfortunate recent history, Pride Month recognition began with Bill Clinton in 1999. Take a stand like George Washington in 1778 during the Revolutionary War. While serving as commander-in-chief of the Continental Army, Washington approved the court-martial and dismissal of Lieutenant Frederick Garthold Enslin. Yes, Enslin was charged with attempting to commit sodomy. As your state representative, I, Jadon MacCormack, would stand firmly against the transgender and LGBTQ movement that has for too long corrupted our families, undermined parental authority, and eroded the foundational values of our society. This ideology promotes confusion over clarity, promotes feelings over biological reality, and seeks to redefine the natural order of marriage, family, and human identity in ways that directly contradict God-given rights and common sense. I will fight relentlessly in the state legislature to protect our family from premature medical interventions, indoctrination in schools, and the normalization of perverse ideologies that threaten the innocence of the next generation. Again, Jadon MacCormack is here. So I know you stand by that, and you do. Why did you write it, and was this out of frustration, or were you just trying to make a point?
Well, let's be honest here. All the politicians go ahead and publish Happy Pride Month. Let's celebrate the pride, the homosexuals, the sodomites, as I call them. And so what's the opposite? It's me, right? I'm the only person that's willing to be the counter to the culture and make an effort to make a difference. So I wanted to get a post out there just to say, hey, I'm not for it. I'm for straight month, and that's what I put it as, but it's pro-family. That's entirely my position. You know, of course, I worked at the Capitol this year in the Energy and Technology Committee, so I have actual policies, but we have to fight back against the corrupted culture of society and get back to what made Connecticut strong from the very beginning.
This is an interesting point of view to have in this day and age because you are fearless in the sense of saying that we should not be afraid in the era of what we should be inclusive of everything while completely condemning your point of view on this. That their view on this is the only one that's allowed and yours must be condemned.
Right. I had a complete, and utter destruction from the top of Republicans all the way to the local level denouncing me. Now I'm keeping on the campaign trail. I'm going to be on that ballot in November. I might, win a couple people, maybe lose a few. But what is righteous and what is pure, I'm fighting for, and it's not going to go backwards for me.
That is a hell of a hill to sort of stand on. I don't want to use the word die on. It isn't that. Is that your principles are supposed to be that no matter what the victory or loss is, right? Because you have to stay true to who you are.
Right. Now, of course, I want to do what's correct for my constituents, but I need to educate them and say, hey, you've been lied to, you've been indoctrinated. Now, I actually have a lot of support from my district because we are the only light red part in the state of Connecticut. So I still have an opportunity there. But the problem is that this is, destroying society. We need to get back to what was proper again, and it starts now. It doesn't start, in a couple of years from now if I'm quiet and then I'll get in the legislature. But this needs to be an issue top of hand. And I know your position is staying quiet. You can think it but not say it.
Well, that's not what I said. But
right.
Nice try, but that's not what I said.
Well, that's what it sounded like.
I'll tell you what I said.
Okay.
And again, you sat here during it.
Sure.
I didn't say in any way that you should be quiet. You heard me say, I'm just going to post this here. Give up people the opportunity to make that decision on their own.
Fair.
Don't editorialize for them. Now, I know what your position is. And again, telling me what your position is the purpose of you being on the show.
Yeah.
And I look at this and I go, hey, this is his position. He's running for office and he's telling people up front, being honest. This is where I stand on Pride Month because someone may indeed ask me about this. They may look at my evangelical background or the fact that I'm a Baptist or the fact that I've pronounced that I am saved. I pronounced that I've been baptized, right? And both of those things you have pronounced.
Yes,
and
that's true.
And immediately because of your religious leanings, they will immediately go to what's called the fodder. Well, what does he feel about gays? This'll do him in. And then you say exactly what you think. No, I think it's an abomination. I think it's sodomy. This is what I believe. Right. And then that becomes the objective in which to derail your campaign. So you came out and said, before anybody asks, this is what I think.
Yeah. And I think we're on a level playing field here today because we understand that this is destroying society to a degree. And I think anybody with common sense ideology can believe that. But this point I have to make is we have to just be public about it. It's not about stepping back. It's not about saying, oh, I don't think it's right, but I'm not going to publicly talk about it. But this is the time. This is America's 250th anniversary, and it's time to take action, and that's what I'm doing.
Look, again, I am not holding anything against the fact that this is the route that you sought to go. What I was making, and the claim is, and I'll give you an opportunity to even respond to that. The objective is always by these communities, no matter what they are, be the gay community, Black Lives Matter community, whatever it is.
Right.
The objective is to always draw in the person that they're going to deem the bigot.
Sure.
Which is why, again, I said, I know you didn't listen to the program, but had you done that on Monday, you would have understood where I was coming from. You don't have to convince anybody of what people already naturally know is wrong. We've become a culture that we have got to point everything out to them. See, they're hypocrites. See, they're a liar. See that. They've become so obsessive with that, they've forgotten about the focus of winning. I've argued this all day, every day. You don't know how to win, because winning is not complaining. Winning is winning.
Yeah.
Right? It's executing. It's executing a plan that gets results.
Now, this is a campaign, so it's
Fair
very
enough.
strategic.
Okay.
And I have to look at it as both I need to say the right things, but I also have to be correct and be true to my people.
Absolutely.
And so I see Pride Month as every politician promoting it. On the Republican side, too, I had Senator Jeff Gordon make a big, statement about denouncing me and then how he supports the LGBTQ plus whatever. And that's wrong. I think he is in the wrong. And he's, of course, I'm very disappointed with
Tell me
him.
why you think he's wrong.
Yes. Senator Jeff Gordon, I believe he is playing a game. He is very chummy with the Democrats, and he tries to keep his seat. But this is not just him. It's every Connecticut Republican in the state that denounced me because they feel that it's necessary to keep their seat and be politically correct. Now, I am politically correct in a lot of fashions. I'm very diplomatic. I know how to have the conversation and be able to hear somebody out. But when it comes to something this specific that they're trying to propagate to all of us citizens that live in District 50, but all the state and all the country, this needs to be an effort to tell them the truth. It's something we cannot look back on in 50 years from now on the 300th anniversary and say it got 20 times worse. And then, we have to talk about it now and just take care of it.
Where are you winning hearts and minds in this, with the exception of Pastor Jacob Dell, which we'll get into in general? But when I say where in your efforts here does it win hearts and minds? And what I mean by that is not that you need other people. Well, you're going to need other people on your side, of course, because you're running for election. But where do you draw people in with your statement and not tell them, when they ask the question, well, Jadon, this sounds a little bigoted. This sounds a little homophobic, all that other stuff. What do you say to that? Now,
we're a little bit past that situation where somebody can kind of add, a small comment, but then still be supportive.
Okay.
And of course, having literally the governor of Connecticut denounce me by name, that's huge.
Did he really?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Everybody. I'm telling you, I am,
in District 50 made so much noise that even the governor responded?
Exactly right.
Holy moly.
I know. And I'm out here, and I don't care if they're trying to target me specifically, because this is what's true. This is what the Bible says about sodomy, and I'm here for the fight. Now, of course, I understand these topics in a deeper level where I have to educate a little bit. I have to be, kind of soft on it. But my statement that I put out on Facebook is very moderate. It's talking about children protecting their rights. Now, of course, I understand that the government should get involved at a later time, when we have more legislators at the Capitol building, and they can start passing more harder legislation against the sodomites. But we need to go ahead and target what they're going after, which is the children.
And when you say that, there's where the divide happens. And I say this all the time. You're saying that there are people who are targeting the children.
Yes.
Now, these are nameless and faceless individuals. They never can be named.
No, there's very public ones. I'm not going to give names right now.
Fair enough.
But as far as in my district, specifically Mansfield, Connecticut, which I would be representing the southern half, it is one of the strongholds that they're trying to push and propagate Pride Month, homosexuality. And I went to the senior center. seniors of all people that are older and they're more conservative leaning at that. And there was a pride flag on every corner of that building. I saw it everywhere. The director there was completely rude. I wasn't even talking about Pride Month. I was just being friendly, dropping in for a conversation. And these people are despicable, and we need to change them and their attitude, replace them, and put a proper order in place.
When you say, okay, we replace exactly who they are. I'm sorry, I want to make sure that I got that. You have not wavered one bit on this. You accept this fight because you see it as a righteous one.
Of course I do.
Tell me more.
Yes. Now, the thing is, I'm a biblical Christian. You know, at that point, I say, you know, this is my character, this is my integrity. But then I see policies that have to be integrated into our society, into legislation. And so I understand the issues working in the Energy and Technology Committee, wanting to eliminate the public benefits charge. All these things that are more detailed, specific, higher level than just talking about sodomites. But I see that as being two-handed. You have to have both to be able to win a race that is pure and righteous at fact.
Stand by. We're going to have a very, very detailed conversation about this and much, much more. We'll talk about Jacob Dell's comments towards Vin Candelora and Vin Candelora's statements, which is probably one of the most public ones besides the governor's, when we return. Jadon MacCormack, a candidate for the 50th District, is here with us. We continue our conversation with him after we get back. Stand by.
It's Reese on the radio on NewsTalk 1080 WTIC.
Sorry. Thank you. I didn't hear you. I'm in here talking to Jadon. I'm off the air. My bad. Jane and I, I'm trying to get some points across here. My bad. Hold on. Your thing's not on. There he is. Okay. We're behind the scenes talking about why this stuff is important that I said in my monologue about not engaging. Jadon was telling me behind the scenes that when people were talking to him in the news, who'd you interview with? News Channel 8?
I did News 8 and NBC Connecticut.
And NBC Connecticut? Yep. FSB hasn't contacted you yet?
Not yet, but I'm sure they are.
Okay, well, get on it, FSB. Okay, so that should be right now. So we got an emergency alert system coming up. Roughly about this section, so it's going to take about 30 seconds. We stand by now. All right, we're back. My wife is so mad at me, she can't stand that sound. So what we were talking about behind the scenes is that when you were talking to these people, your general message was about how this is affecting families and, of course, children. The most important, how they're indoctrinating them. But you talked to two news outlets, and they barely even mentioned kids, did they?
The thing is that they have an agenda, obviously.
Of course.
And that's why people are so endowed in the, sodomite deception.
Right.
And so that's what we have to do. We have to fight that culture.
But that's the reason why I said what I said in the opening monologue.
Yes.
The objective is that when we go into these debates, we have to be strategic. We have to make the news have the conversation that they are not going to have.
Right.
So when they come and meet you and they say, oh, we understand you said some things in your post. I'm like, yes, because I'm trying to protect children. And they were like, yeah, but what about when you said this? Yes, because it protects children. Because children are incredibly vulnerable, and in my belief, they are coming for children.
And it goes beyond that, too, though.
Oh, no. I know it does. Mm-hmm. But remember, because what they're doing is, and that's what the news media does. Well, we only had 15 seconds to play some sound bites. And they will find the ones that, again, are steering you off the thing that is the most important to you so you can bring out, the thing that they need to paint the picture. And that's why I say this strategic thing is you leave people to their human nature. You leave them to that, and they will make the decision that you believe they will. They will see that and they will go, that's not right. They will see that and they'll go, not comfortable with that. I get where he's coming from because this is what I saw and that didn't look good to me. I feel uncomfortable having seen that. That's the strategy I'm talking about, is that it's not so much about if I, lay off, then they're just going to continue to win. As I told you, if you don't know what your enemy is doing or how your enemy is approaching you, you're never going to learn how to fight them. I know what their goal is because I've seen it throughout the years of leftism, right? Think about the communist movement. Everybody thinks that the communist movement or the socialist movement is about communism and socialism. No.
And there is communism and
of course
socialism
there is.
in the state
of
capital.
Course.
And I worked there, and they've told me personally.
Exactly.
Yep.
But the bottom line is that how do you make that argument? Is that you don't make the argument for capitalism. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
It's like you don't have to. Capitalism is what it is. You have to make the argument about socialism and keep making it about that. Make them defend the thing that they are doing. That's how you do it with the LGBTQ community. That's how you do it with Black Lives Matter. That's how you do it with the with the anti-ICE establishment. You force them to make their point about the thing that they stand for. It is easy for them to tell you what they're against.
Right. So
Okay.
they self-implode.
Exactly.
Yes.
That's the whole point that I'm making. Okay, look at that. The phones are they're off the hook. We may have to take phone calls. I can't because people this is rare for me, but it seems like people want to chime in on this. So I'm going to give them an opportunity. We're going to get to the top of the hour news with John Silva. But we'll be back more with Jadon MacCormack, who's running as a candidate in the 50th district when we return. Here's John Silva.
Reese on the radio, making sense of the news. Yeah, even when it makes no sense at all. Now on WTIC, News Talk 1080.
All right, we are back and we are live with Mr. Jadon MacCormack, who is running for the 50th district here in Connecticut and plans on running this November. Are you running unopposed? Are you running
Yeah, I'm unopposed.
Okay.
I'm getting to the November ballot.
And who are you running against there?
Pat Boyd.
Okay. And you've just decided to run for this office.
Well, I worked at the state capitol this legislative session, and then as March was coming along and the legislative session was ending, I went ahead and put my hat in the ring.
Right. And this was something that you wanted to do because having been inside sort of the belly of the beast, you saw a lot of things wrong that you wanted to.
Not just that,
Okay.
but we have to understand what in the world was this legislative session about.
Sure.
We had a lot of controversial legislation getting passed.
Sure.
We had the revocation of the religious vaccination exemption, them targeting Glocks completely. They want to ban those, and then they even want to target homeschooling and private schools. So all these things are very controversial, but all true to me. And my opponent, Pat Boyd, skips out on votes that are controversial to himself.
Right.
So when I saw that all conspire, I wanted to make sure that we had representation across the spectrum, even on controversial legislation.
Now, I'm going to take a few phone calls. I'm going to take the second one first and the first one after. Because the last call has more to do with something you posted last 2025 around August 11th. But let me get to Sue real quick because she wanted to address your candidacy and your post. Sue, go on. You're on with Jadon MacCormack. My bad.
Okay,
there you go.
Reese, I have
can't
to
hear.
say first that I'm a Christian first, then a conservative, then a Republican.
Okay.
That being said, I cannot at all agree with someone calling for violence and the killing of anyone based on any kind of sin. Jesus did not.
Hold on for me 1 second. Sue, Roseanne, put it back in this ridiculous box over here. Sue, I don't want your call to be missed by Jadon. He's literally here, but I've got to make sure you can hear. Okay, sounds better now. Go ahead and make your statement again, Sue. I apologize.
Okay, so I don't know where we left off, but I said
you were saying that you are a Christian first. Start there.
Christian first, then conservative, then a Republican. And that being said, I cannot agree with anyone calling for violence against anyone. Thank God Jesus didn't do that with the woman at the well or anyone else. It's not our job as Christians to call for violence and the killing of people based on any sin. So I want to start with that.
Okay, go on. All right. So did you want to ask Jadon a question about his post or about how he felt about Pride Month?
Well, about his post, calling for people, saying a noose is the only
Okay,
thing.
So Sue as well as the question about the 2025 April 11th news post. You want to address that?
Sure. At the end of the day, we're focused on just having the legislation be in control of what happens to sodomites. Now, I'm not calling for individuals to be violent towards people. Now, I want the government to be in that position to have and include the death penalty. Now, historically known, Connecticut has had the death penalty for sodomites for hundreds of years, even in the colony. And it was very, very Christian. And that was across the board. 2003 was when Texas made sodomy actually not illegal anymore. So,
Jadon, show me that in the Bible. Show me that in the Bible where Jesus said to kill sodomites. I want to see it directly from the Bible. It's not a Christian principle that you're speaking on. And like I said, if Jesus had killed us all because of our sin, we'd all be dead. So no sin is worse than any other. And I disagree with you entirely calling for the killing of anyone based on any kind of sin, because that's not what Jesus did.
Okay. Thank you, Sue. I appreciate you.
Thank you.
You got it. Go ahead. You can respond.
Oh, sure. Well, at the end of the day as well, is we are Americans. We go based off the Bible. That's what our country was founded on. And, of course, I want to bring us back to the old past and the truth of what made America the land of the free. Now, of course, when it comes to putting on the death penalty, we need to focus on what is proper. Now, we can't have people, molesting children. They should, perverts and these horrible people should get the death penalty too. Now, I believe every sodomite is a pervert. I believe from Romans chapter 1, they all call it a reprobate, and it's in the New Testament, guys. Now, the Old Testament is even clearer on the fact, and I don't think that the Old Testament is gone away with. It's the Bible. Let's go back to that. That's what our founding fathers believed. That's what all the laws in the United States was for many, many centuries.
Well, we've never had any laws based upon a religious doctrine. That has always been the rule. Congress shall make no laws based upon any religion.
What are you talking about?
Congress shall make no laws based on any religion, because
if
you
look into the legislation in our founding colonies and states in the early years, it was all Bible based. They included Bible verses.
You're using the word as if I don't understand it.
Sure,
I know what Bible based means, but that is in essence with a Judeo-Christian value system, but not a law based upon the Bible itself. Congress shall make no laws based on any religion. Okay? No religion. You're saying that Bible-based religion should therefore be in our laws, but you're misinterpreting that. We can't, because again, what happens if we are indeed sort of this nation that is supposed to be governed by religion? What happens if, as my wife believes, this entire country is taken over by Muslims? Right? If all of a sudden every municipality is run by, as if Dearborn, Michigan, and every other town, all of a sudden they should be allowed to then say, you know what? The Quran that's the way, the doctrine of America works, that we can actually use religion to govern us all.
So you believe when we were founded as a country, we were doing it in the wrong by following the Bible?
No. Again, you're talking about following the Bible instead of basing laws on the Bible.
The laws were based on the Bible with scripture verses attached to the laws.
No, understood. But I guess what you're missing is like the founders here did not want to be hamstrung by religion.
Sure, and I agree with that.
So that, and wait, understanding that, knowing that they did not want to be hamstrung by religion because that's what they left. That's why they broke away from Europe, is to not be hamstrung by religion. They would use Judeo-Christian values to make their laws, but they would not be based upon their religion, right? In other words, strictly guided by women. We have basic laws. Of course, thou shalt not kill. We used to have laws in Virginia. In fact, I think we still have a law in Virginia. Thou shalt not covet another man's wife. In fact, that technically is illegal in Virginia, but it's not illegal in other states. In essence, we do govern ourselves based upon values, but we do not direct our laws directly from the Bible.
And that was changed in recent history.
I'm not denying that. I'm not going to say it was changed in recent history, but it was done with that in mind, even at our founding.
That is not
name
true.
the law. Hold on. Give me the law that comes directly from, Deuteronomy. Give me a law.
Sure. The main thing here is I'm not a preacher, but I am following what the Bible says based off of Deuteronomy. We're going off of what we have in the Bible. And, of course, Romans chapter 1. It's very clear. Now, I understand in this essence we're talking about government. Mm-hmm. And so the state always had these laws in place against sodomites, against murder, against all these things, and had the death penalty in operation. And then in recent history, it was flipped. And now,
And why was it flipped, though?
just by being liberal.
No.
Yeah.
Wait. So hold on. So you do not believe that the people had any say in changing those laws as they were? You don't believe that our constitutional republic, our representative republic, played any role? Hold on, I'm asking you. Do you believe that our constitutional republic, our representative republic, played a role in changing the laws in those states? Yes or no?
And yes, that is true.
Okay.
But I need to say this. That's why I'm running in the first place, to be able to change it back to the way it was.
And you believe that you're going to do that on your own without your constituents having a say in that?
You have to be there no matter if everybody turns against you. If you're there...
I'm not thinking that you're answering my question. I'm going to try it again. Are you going to do that against the will of your constituents? If your constituents say, Jadon, no, I don't believe that we should have a constitutional law.
That's what voting's for, man.
Okay, so you do believe that they have a say.
Well, how could I change it?
Okay, well, you just said that we need to change it, but you're not, again, so now you're going right back to my opening monologue, right? So what did I tell you about this, right? The most important thing that you have to do is you have to win hearts and minds. Now, if you believe that you're going to convince people that says that we're not going to take sodomites and we're going to kill them, right? Because it is a part of our Constitution in some way, and you believe that there are people who are going to vote for that, you got another thing coming, because as much as people may not like gay pride, as much as people may not like gay pride parades,
I have to be real. I can't just put
I'm
I'm
not denying that you're being real.
Okay.
Here. I'm not denying that you're being real.
Right.
What I'm trying to sort of have a conversation with you about is, and have an understanding is that this is a dialogue with somebody who agrees with you, but up to a point. So I can say to you, I believe that indoctrinating our children with LGBTQ values in the school is 100% wrong. I got no wiggle room for you there. I also have no problems with, children being taught the most almost egregious things inside our schools, even for teenagers, for that matter, to be taught about sexual exploits in the school provided to you by the likes of Planned Parenthood. I'm 100% against that. However, somebody's lifestyle that they do in the privacy of their own home.
You're referring to sodomites in this case?
Yes, I am. Those people who practice that in their own home, okay, I've got no business in. Now, if you think that makes me a liberal, whatever.
I think that's wrong.
Okay, I got you. No, my point is, I am not denying that you think it's wrong. I totally understand that you think it's wrong. I don't think it's wrong for people to behave, consenting adults, to behave however they want in their own home. Because
I disagree.
Let me finish. That is what I believe that freedom is. It may not be the best thing.
I'm specifically talking about sodomites, not anybody else.
Even in their own home.
Right. The sodomites, I don't care if it's in their home, if it's in their...
You don't care, because you don't believe that they should be allowed to exist.
Eventually through the government. Now, I'm not calling for violence on sodomites
Yeah,
today.
I get that, but technically you are. You're asking for the government to implement that. And you want... Hold on. Now, this is the crazy part about this, and I can't... You are conservative or what?
I am a conservative.
Okay, all right. This is not a conservative value in my view.
It used to be.
This is my view. Oh, that's fine. Whatever it used to be is fine. I mean, things evolve. They happen all the time. But this is not why I have a problem with it on a conservative level. And here's why. See, the only thing that I don't like about liberalism is just as simple as smoking laws or gun laws or vegan laws. If you don't want to eat meat, don't eat meat. Please don't tell me not to eat meat.
But this is completely different.
No.
Yes, it is. From Romans chapter 1,
Jadon, let me finish. What I'm telling you is that what you are saying is that this is completely different, because you think that what people do privately should be made a public government issue.
They're not even doing it privately.
No. What about those? Well, let's. What do you think? You think they're doing it out in the courtyards?
So you're talking about intercourse in this instance, but I'm talking.
Well, that is the lifestyle, isn't it?
We're referring to, in a general public, they are pushing this propaganda, and at the same time, all these.
And I'm against that.
Yeah, of course. But that is what they're doing publicly and in private. But they should not have that option whatsoever.
They shouldn't have the private
For sodomy, no.
Okay, they shouldn't have the option to do that in their own home, in the privacy of their own home.
That's right. I do not believe they should.
Okay, and that is because
it's against the Bible, and it's against what our true values was as a founding of a colony and a state.
And you believe that that is a requirement that you should have as an American citizen, that when you were in the United States, that you should not behave that way, and therefore the punishment for such behavior should be by the government death?
Correct.
Okay, buddy. All right, I'm trying to wrap my head around it because I don't.
Seems like you get it.
No, I'm not getting. I'll tell you where I'm not getting, and it isn't about intolerance here. I don't think it is about that. I think what's being really, really missed in all of this, as far as your point of view is concerned, is the absolute disregard for human life here.
Specifically reprobates, which are sodomites.
Again, the disregard for human life.
Okay.
So I want to make sure.
I'm not denying
it's
it.
Okay. This is something that I need a lot of people to understand here. And this is again where I try to preach to a lot of people that they do not understand this whole deal. That we living on this planet, especially in this country, is that we can really, really learn to hate each other easily. It is an easy thing to do. You could wake up in the morning and just choose hate. Just could. I'm not saying that you hate. I don't even know whether or not you hate. I'm not going to make that determination. But people clearly do not understand what it's like to love someone enough to understand their own decisions in life. I totally, from the bottom of my heart, Jadon, I appreciate you believing or thinking or even knowing what you know. I totally appreciate it. But I got to tell you, man, it seems to me, and I'm not bashing you about it. I know where it comes from. I understand where it comes from. But it seems to me this disregard of individuals regardless of where they come from, because I wonder where your stance would be if you were to interpret the Bible to say that somebody else didn't deserve to exist outside of it. Like if I had determined that there was something in the Bible that says,
hear me,
I understand it. The Bible doesn't change, but I'm just saying that I wonder in this, that if the Bible had said that a certain group of people, right? Because I'm sure that the Bible says that we must eradicate other people than sodomites. Who else in the Bible do they say that we cannot tolerate?
Child molesters.
Right. Who else?
Yeah, it's anybody that falls in the category of reprobate.
Yeah, who else falls into the category of reprobate other than child molesters and sodomites? Who else?
It's anything that is outside of regular nature.
Mm-hmm. Adulterers?
No.
Why not? Adulterers are not reprobates?
Well, we'll have to talk more on adulterers because this is an interesting topic when it comes to Romans chapter 1 because it does list that in the title. But, of course, we see Jesus Christ referring to an adulterous woman. Mm-hmm. Now, of course, he is able to forgive as God, but we have to understand what that stipulation is. That's why I believe in having a judge and understand how things got to that point.
Yes, biblically, if Jesus were not there to make that famous statement.
Well, that's where the government comes in. We have to make that choice.
Well, at the time, was Jesus the government or the government that was about to stone her?
Jesus surpasses the government.
Right. He did in that case. If Jesus were not there, what would we have? We'd have a stoned woman, right?
Correct.
So therefore, are you saying that the government or Jesus Christ? Who is the person who is our government? Who are we guided by? Who is our guiding principle in this? Is Jesus our guiding principle in this, or is the government of the Bible?
You have to go ahead and look at how the Bible displays itself. Now, of course, we can go back to our history as a colony and a state and understand that there is laws that was passed to be this degree. Now, are we going to use that track record to be in this modern day? I believe we should. That's what we are founded on, and we should go back to the way things were. Now, if you're going to use that track record, you can probably make a good basis off of modern society, maybe make some tweaks to it, but you can have something very similar to the way the Bible is represented and how the United States of America, but specifically Connecticut, was designed.
Hold on one second. I'll get to that in a second. I got to go to a break. Literally, at the time to go to a break. I want to dig deeper in this. We're going to spend a little more time with Jadon here. Again, it is a topic we are talking about, or everyone's talking about, and it's an opportunity for Jadon to make his case, which he can't do on the news channels, no matter what they are. So that's why we're doing it here. We're having a long conversation with him so that you can get to know him and get to understand where his stance is. I'm learning too. We'll be back. Stand by. More news, more views. It's Reese on the radio.
Spider-Man. Hey, he's your friendly neighborhood Reese on the radio. Right now on News Talk 1080 WTIC.
All right, we're here live with Jadon MacCormack. He is with us. He is running for the 50th district here in Connecticut. We're taking a few more phone calls. I can't take everybody, okay? Stand by for a second. Let me get to Manu, who's on the line. She's been holding a bit. Thank you, Manu. I appreciate you holding on. How are you?
I'm good. It's Manju.
Manju, I'm sorry, Manju. Forgive me. And thank you for listening. Thank you for listening to the program. Are you a regular listener of Reese on the radio?
Yes, I do whenever I can.
Well, thank you. We appreciate the support. You had a question for our guest, Jadon MacCormack. Go ahead.
Yes, I wanted to ask him. I know it was from 2025, and it was before he decided to run for office. But that news post that he made in response to the Supreme Court may get rid of gay marriage. I just wanted to know from him why he decided to put that post with that picture of a noose, which is very insulting to a lot of African Americans and to a lot of people, as myself, because that portrays lynching, really. And I just wanted to know from him why he decided to use that post first, and also to know why, when he decided to run for candidacy in that area, he wouldn't have gone through his social media and did what Hippocrates mentioned of do no harm to yourself and to your party.
So you're asking why he did not go back and delete the tweet instead. Because that's in essence what you're saying, right?
Like a judgment call, really.
I got you. Well, go ahead. And I thank you for do you want to hold on for it, or do you want to just listen in?
No, I'll hold on for it. There's actually one more question.
Okay, go for it, Jadon.
Sure. Now, as far as it being offensive to African Americans, I believe that I'm very race inclusive. If you're a sodomite, you should get the death penalty. Mm-hmm. Simple as that. So, I do not recede anything. I'm a man of my word. When I say something, I'm going to do it. When I post something, I truly mean it. And I'm not going to be here being apologetic, being this person that recedes and says, oh, I'm sorry that I'm a person of integrity. But, hey, I guess there's people that want to denounce me. Of course, the whole regime of politics in this state has done so, including Ned Lamont, the person running for governor as a Republican. Even though I worked with him, I know him personally.
You talking about Ryan Fazio?
I am talking about Ryan Fazio.
Well, you said Lamont, so I'm just saying. Okay. Yeah. Oh, you said including the man who's running. Okay.
Right.
Well, that's because they have a problem with the idea of sodomites should be killed by the government.
I think.
Well, also, Reese, can I mention something too, if you don't mind?
Yeah, real quick.
Okay, so, being a Republican means that we may not agree with everything that people do, but we respect the freedom and the liberty of people to do that. And, I don't mean to keep, crapping on you, Jadon, but you sound sort of like what a Democrat would talk about their view of what a conservative Republican is, although they're the ones who are the judgmental party. But you do kind of have that point of view where Democrats would say, oh, that's a typical Republican right there.
Manju, I appreciate it. I'm going to give him an opportunity to respond, and I'm going to take one more. But thank you for the call and the question, okay?
Thank you.
You got it. No, I get your point when you say that, look, you're a man of integrity. What you believe is what you believe. You're not going to capitulate to anyone. This is what you stand on. And whatever comes from that in this election, you accept.
Right.
Right? And it's but you are just calling it out for what it is, and you are running on these principles.
And just to notice here, that was in 2025.
Mm-hmm.
I have a track record of being who I am, and it doesn't matter if I'm running on a ticket and I'm going to be somebody that, I'm not. That's not who I am. And that's what the political parties are. They're trying to redefine, the way they style. Now, of course, that's strategy. I understand that. But you have to be true to the people. People understand where you're coming from.
And look, again, I told you before, and I still stand by it. You and I are going to ardently disagree, hysterically disagree on where you feel on this. However, you've never heard me once say, "No, you shouldn't think it. You got to wiggle this around." I'm not. I totally think you're going to run.
Right. It's truly American what my belief is, because that's what the country was founded on. That's what the state of Connecticut was founded on. And that's what I'm wanting this country to go back to, but especially Connecticut.
Understood. Let me take one more. Let's go to Ryan, who's in Coventry. Hello, Ryan.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Hey, this is great. I love this conversation. I think it's been one of the most interesting shows. I got a lot of family out in your district from Rogers and Dayville and everything out there, and I think it's a great area to live and everything like that. And I was really upset about this for a while today until I got some clarity on the situation, I guess. And I thought it was disappointing the way they were going at you. But I kind of understand it now. Just because Connecticut was founded on a lot of these things, that doesn't mean we should really go back to all of them. I think we can all agree that some of the things from the past
were draconian
and moved on to are a lot better now. It'd be like saying, I think we should bring back slavery just because, that's what we had back in Connecticut's history.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
No, I totally get it, Ryan. I know some people agree with you. Trust me, my chat room is chock full of that.
Yeah. I really was disappointed. I just, bro, you're taking a really, an impossible stance for anyone to back you on any of this. I think you're going to kind of find yourself in a real corner. And, for the entertainment value, I hope you run the race the whole way through, to be honest, because I think it'll be entertaining.
I think he is a great conversation to have, because he brought us to a place that we have to ask, what is the other side of this? Look, I'll say this right to your face, Jadon. As extreme as many people believe those folks are in the LGBTQ community with, dancing around topless to drag queen story hours and the dancing around in bars, collecting tips from children. That kind of stuff is far too extreme, where there are many people who are listening to this and going, look at Jadon on the opposite side of that. I have to say that it is a conversation that a lot of people who listen to this very show and this network never get to hear your side to this. Extreme or not, they never get to hear that side. I don't get to talk to guys like you, and I'm glad I am, because I kind of get a point of view.
Right, I'll say this one thing, and this is important just to get out there, is I did not run this campaign to fight for the death penalty of sodomites.
Okay.
I ran this campaign from the very beginning. It wasn't until, on June 2nd, I believe. And that was when everything got haywire.
Now it's about that. Now the race is about that.
Now I am very strict on making our policies change for the better. I worked there. I know exactly what we need to do to get the job done. Now, of course, I understand that this is an entertainment factor for some people, but this is reality, people. Mm-hmm. This is what will hinge our future generations on. And if we don't take a stance now, nobody's going to have a difference in their future.
Let me push back on this as saying that, look, you did not want this to be the crux of your campaign, but now it is. Right. But now it is.
But I don't care, though.
Oh, no, that's cool. I don't, like I said, you stand on both feet on this one. This is not about you getting to rearrange your perspective or how you feel about this. No way. That's not my job. But I want you to go back to my opening monologue and to what I was saying on Monday on June 1st. Is that now, believe it or not, and this is politics plus pop culture plus the media, they now determine the rules in your race. They are now in control. And the reason why is because you kind of fed them. You understand what I'm saying here?
Of course
and
I
do.
Yes.
I get that you are saying, hey, this is who I am, accept it or not. But now you no longer control the narrative. You are the guy who feels this way.
But we have to be integrity.
Okay.
Right? We have to stand behind what we really believe in.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe in the founding of our state and what that focused on from the very beginning. Now, of course, I denounce slavery. That's not something that I support.
People are going to bring that up no matter what.
And plus, the thing is we are here to have a better moral society.
Mm-hmm.
That's what conservatism is, right? We want to go and conserve and have what we used to, be able to have. And so we are in a country, and especially in the state of Connecticut, where there's so much corruption, so much moral degeneracy, that we need to take a stance. And, hey, I'm the only one that was willing to make that a problem, where I was able to say a regular post wasn't even about the death penalty for sodomites, which should happen. Let me not go back on that.
Okay.
But we need to protect the children first. That is so vital.
We all agree on that one. That one we have to protect the children.
That's what I posted.
Okay.
Right? I was not trying to be an extremist, and I still am not an extremist. I looked at the viewpoint of trying to, go to the simple ways of life. And now, if there's a way for the state of Connecticut to do what I was posting in 2025, I'm all for that. I support that.
Okay. Jadon MacCormack running for the 50th district. I know you got to go because you're going to be someplace in an hour, and we got to go to a hard break here anyway. But I wish you all the luck in the world. We are going to have you back without a doubt. Will you come back?
I will.
You serious?
I'm here for conversations because this is vital.
Absolutely. Without a doubt, we will definitely have you back. At 4 o'clock, we'll talk to Pastor Jacob Dell. We'll get him on the phone lines. Thank you very much, Jadon. I appreciate you coming down here.
Yes, sir.
Jadon MacCormack, ladies and gentlemen. Let's take a break. We'll be back. More news, more views. It's Reese on the radio.
It's Reese on the radio on News Talk 1080 WTIC.
Oh, I got to get rid of all of this on here. My apologies, Roseanne. I don't want to have the wrong lower third on your thing here. There she is. Roseanne is back. How are you, my dear?
I'm good. This thing's shot.
This what?
The headphone
The
jack.
headphone jack is shot? You can't hear anything?
I can hear it. I have to hold it in.
You have to hold it in. All right, we'll fix it. We'll get you in. Maybe we'll have it stretch around and put it in another receiver or something like that. Anyway, so Roseanne is here. We got about 3 minutes before we get our first check of weather and traffic. Plus, we'll get to some phones. Hold on. Jacob Dell is there. Keep him on the line. We'll get to him in the 4 o'clock hour in a second. So what did you think of the interview?
Well, I think if we're going to stick to the Bible as our guiding principle, there's a lot. I mean, if wasn't the Bible used to force slavery?
Yeah, I mean, there's interpretations that can be used.
I'm just saying.
Mm-hmm.
I feel a certain way about that, and I will always hold to God didn't make me the judge.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't make me the jury nor the executioner. My commandments from God is to just love. And, if I disagree with someone's lifestyle, walk away and pray for them. That's what I was told to believe. I'm
listening to people who are responding to Jadon. And the fact that people are incorporating themselves into his campaign troubles me to a large degree. And I know where it comes from. Is because when you spend your entire life saying, Chris Murphy represents all Democrats, where when you listen to this show, I admonish Chris Murphy because Chris Murphy is Chris Murphy doing the bidding of his party, but Chris Murphy is Chris Murphy. I don't ever say Democrats created Chris Murphy or they're telling him whether Chris Murphy made the decision on his own, and I hold him responsible for the ridiculous things that he says and his contradictions and his singular stupidity. I hold him responsible. Democrats writ large and what they believe and how they sometimes contradict themselves in the sense that I make note that they serve so many masters because they're trying so hard to serve everyone that they almost fall flat in contradicting themselves, if not sort of falling into the circular firing squad. And I enjoy it. I love it. But people are now looking at Jadon MacCormack's campaign and are saying, this guy's out in the open. They're going to think we're all like this. And that's the reason why Republicans are out there making sure, I completely condemn this. I condemn this, blah, blah. Jadon is not about you. With all due respect, this is not a defense of Jadon and what he believes. Okay? Jadon is not about you. Jadon is running his campaign. Jadon believes what he believes. That's it.
I do believe personally that elected officials are representatives
of the people,
of us.
Sure.
They are not in place to tell me what's right and what's
exactly.
wrong.
And when they no longer represent you or your ideals, what do you do?
Vote them out.
Exactly.
Unless you're a Democrat, then you just keep voting from one the same.
Yeah, according to Reggae Don, that's what you do. But bottom line is that stop me, guys. You're bringing attention to yourselves so that you can get prestige. That's corny. Stop doing that. Okay? It is. Now it's a whole, we're Republicans and this is all gonna be. No, it isn't. No, it isn't. Jadon is his own man. He's a 23-year-old young man. This is what he believes, and that's fine. For the rest of you, knock it off. I say that strongly. If you got beef with me, tell me. Well, people are going to pin it on us. So what? Anyway, I'll get into this in a second. Pastor Jacob Dell's joining us in a minute. Stand by for that. Let's get our first check of weather and traffic. Mark Christopher's here. He's in the BPS Lawyers Traffic Center. Hey, buddy. All right, we're back. Reese on the Radio, second half of Reese on the Radio on its way. Roseanne is here. But before we get to anything, especially Pastor Jacob Dell, which we'll talk to in a second, Lisa and Lori, if you guys want to stay on the line, stay on the line. I'm only going to talk to Pastor for a little while. But I want to read this. I got this directly. This came directly to my phone from the minority leader of the House, Mr. Vincent Candelora. He writes this. I am not condemning him because I'm afraid of it being pinned on our party. I am condemning him as the leader of our party because he's calling for the death of individuals based on their sexuality. This is hate speech. Go through his post. They are outrageous and don't belong in a public square. He is an endurance candidate for the Republican Party, and therefore we have an obligation to respond. I asked Vincent if I could read that on the air. He said, sure. So I wanted to get that out to you. So those of you, now I said that those of you who are afraid this is going to be pinned on you, I don't mean I'm not talking about anybody in particular. Vincent Candelora's comments, we'll get to that in a second because I have his statements about this. But he is responding to me directly. That wasn't towards you, Vin. I was talking to people who were saying, can he just drop out because they're worried about the weight of this guy on them? There's nothing to do it. But I totally appreciate those who are condemning it. And I'll address that in a second. But just stand by for that. We got more news and more views on this when we return. It may be the whole show because everybody's talking about it. Let's get another check of traffic and weather. Mark Christopher's here. And we return, Jacob Dell, Pastor Jacob Dell will be here. Mark Christopher, he's in the BPS Lawyers Traffic Center. Hey, Mark.
It's Reese on the Radio on NewsTalk 1080 WTIC.
All right, we're back. Let's get right to the phone call right now. A man who is responded to the Facebook post of Jadon MacCormack was Pastor Jacob Dell. He was also on the news today, I think with News Channel 8, WTNH. How you doing there, Pastor?
Good, Reese. How are you?
Pleasure to have you back. And it's good to see you kind of in and around Connecticut instead of just on the phone or in the studio. It's nice to see you around at the convention, just at other gatherings. It's nice to see you.
It's always good to see you.
What do you make of this young man, 23 years old, saying what he said on the program?
Well, I woke up this morning and I didn't know who Jadon MacCormack was from Adam. And a faithful woman who works out with standing in front of the Planned Parenthood clinics in New Haven every day practically sent me a link to the Eyewitness News story. And I open it up and I see our own party has put a knife in the guy's back. So I leaped to his defense because this guy is saying what needs to be said about truth about families and about what is really, I think, bringing shame to this state. So you said something about a circular firing squad, and that's what I woke up to this morning.
Right. But after hearing him on here, because everyone's talking about the Post, right, saying that, straight month and, this Pride Month thing is meant to indoctrinate our children. That's one thing, and I can almost understand people's defense of him and those who are outraged when those of the Republican Party came after him. But now, having read some of the things and even having spoken to the young man, can we at least understand why the Republican Party came after him the way they did?
Sure, you can understand it, but that explains, very little, because when the other side goes to their extreme, you never see leadership put a knife in the back of their up-and-coming candidates. And one of the things that I said in my letter was, what you do with a 23-year-old man who's spirited and energetic and shows that he has some courage is you develop him. You bring him in. You take him in under your wing. You say, maybe delete that post, or maybe put it this way, but we have your back. You don't try to kill him right now, because you know what? That's only going to make what he represents stronger.
Yeah, I get what you're saying, but I think as a young man, as a 23-year-old who's coming from the point of view that he is, and again, he has every right to believe what he believes. And I agree with you. The point is that everyone, Vin Candelora is saying that he sees it as hate speech, and therefore it has to be denounced as the leader of the party.
That's the problem, because the Republican Party is going to lose if it just adopts the language of the left. Hate speech is
I agree. I don't like that term. I don't like that.
I've been called someone who should be canceled because of hate speech. So nothing's going to earn my respect if you try to cancel somebody by saying what he's saying is hate speech. The man is speaking what the Bible says. People don't like what the Bible says, and tough.
Okay. All right. So
I'm serious. You've got all of these Christians who say they go to church and love thy neighbor and all of that, and they have no idea what the Bible said. You had a woman in the last segment who said, what did Jesus say? Who wrote the Bible? What does it say in the Gospel of John? In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God, and the Word became flesh. That is Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ wrote the Old Testament. He wrote Leviticus 18. He wrote Romans 1.
So my question to you, Pastor, is again, the young man is talking about how the government should play a role in executing sodomites.
The government should play a role in executing justice.
Okay.
And our straight couples and children and everyone who trying to have a godly marriage in this state, do we experience justice under the Rainbow Reich? And that's what it is. And we don't.
And I get where your passion is on this, is that it is not, in essence, there are more people in with traditional values and Christian values in the state who are being attacked ad nauseum in this state. I do.
Exactly. And we don't need the Republican Party to attack us.
Okay. I get where you're coming from.
I mean, I'm sticking my neck out for the Republican Party and for its candidates, and preaching the truth and preaching values that will get Republicans elected. I do not need to wake up to a circular firing squad. You put it best.
But what do we do? Yeah, no, I totally get your point of view. But my question has got to be, because I understand the strategy here, and I'm really trying to get people to understand the strategy here. The only thing they hear, right, is from this young man, is that we have free will, but he believes the government should intervene in this way. And the only thing they're trying to address is, how is this guy running for office and thinks that this is going to bring people to our party, or this is going to win hearts and minds?
Well, you know as well as I do that I think 50 seats are still uncontested. The Republican Party in this state can't find candidates, can't find people to run, and then they stab the ones that do run in the back. Okay.
All right. Well, Vin, I know, is listening, and he'll hear it. I hope he'll respond to that. Pastor Jacob Dell, thank you, sir. I appreciate you, and Godspeed to you, and we'll talk soon, okay?
God bless you. Always good to talk.
Thank you, man. I'm going to take Lisa. I don't think she's in South Dakota, because if she's listening all the way there, she is in South Dakota? Wow, Lisa.
I am.
Holy moly. Thank you, Lisa. I appreciate you calling all the way from out west.
Yeah. So you and Roseanne took the baton. Hi, Roseanne. From my husband and me. We left the state of Connecticut because we couldn't just take it anymore.
Right.
And it's a good decision for us. However, Well, I watch your program every day, and I love you guys so much.
Thank you.
I think your last guest needs a little bit more time in his Bible, and I just kind of want to reset a little bit.
Okay.
Because there is scripture that supports it's not ever God's will that anyone should perish. Mm-hmm. And regarding children, God's very specific. The reason Jesus went to the cross, very specific, that if anyone harms a child, they should really just put a rope around their neck and jump off a bridge and drown. He was very clear about that. Mm. And I think your last guest also has a problem with sinners versus those with a reprobate mind. I think he confuses that.
Okay.
Because we live in an era of grace right now. So that means that we can be repentant to God and say, please forgive me. There are things, I lied, I stole, I committed adultery, whatever. And we can have repentance. We're in an era of repentance right now. And I think he kind of forgets that. Mm-hmm. And I truly believe that the commandment that says thou shalt not kill is for everyone. So I don't believe in capital punishment, because the longer you live, the longer God can come to you so that you are not perishing as he wishes. Mm. And a reprobate, I think he got that completely wrong, because a reprobate is one that basically is sociopathic, no conscience, doesn't care who they hurt, and not in any way, shape, or form are all sinners.
Is repentant. Right.
So he was wrong about that.
And somebody who's unrepentant, I got that.
I was looking at this. It says Jesus does not mention homosexuality directly. He does affirm the Old Testament on sexual ethics, Matthew 19:4-6, and upholds it moral law while shifting focus to heart, repentance, and grace, and the church. These are civil, not governments, and should be handled.
Exactly. I totally agree with you. Yes.
And I think that's where he was, a little mistaken.
Misguided. Yeah. Thank you, Lisa. I appreciate you. And
thank you so much.
Thank you for listening to the show, even out in South Dakota. I love you.
Appreciate you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye,
Bye-bye. All right, on the line with us, I knew he'd call. The minority leader is on the phone, Vin Candelora. How are you, sir?
Good afternoon. How are you?
So I know you now want to respond to Jacob Dell and, of course, my earlier guest, Jadon MacCormack. You have drawn most of the fire from people online because you were, I guess, one of the most prominent people to denounce what Jadon wrote online about gay pride or straight pride, for that matter. And you felt it was important for you to make that distinction that this is not us. This is not what we stand for as a Republican Party. Tell me your thinking of that and respond to Pastor Jacob Dell's condemnation of the fact that this is a circular firing squad by the Republican Party.
Yeah. So, the post itself and the news post that we saw, it goes beyond, stating an opinion. To call for physical harm or condemnation for people based on their sexuality is disturbing. And so I will just say that our staff had reached out to this candidate and had a conversation with the artful way to go about having a debate. And, clearly Jadon is doubling down, which is his right. But I think it also gives me an obligation as a leader of the party to condemn it. And it was not a knife in the back. It was clearly a knife from the front. It is not a circular firing squad. It is saying that our party does not represent those type of posts that are depicting a noose, which is a lynching. It has much more hurtful and hateful connotations than making a statement about homosexuality, about transgender sports, about transitioning children, about indoctrinating children in schools, all of which we have those debates in the chamber in Hartford that many of our members oppose a lot of these ideologies. But the way that Jadon is going about it is clearly going to just create controversy and more division in the Republican Party. I've spent 20 years in the House of Representatives working with our Republican team. I've never seen in my 20 years such a staunch condemnation from Republicans as a whole. And this is not about us going after one of our own. Jadon is a novice. He's got a lot to learn, and he probably isn't ready for prime time. And he should really step aside and maybe have a conversation, start out at local politics. But I think at this point he's damaged himself so badly that he shouldn't be in public office.
I think the thing that you've made clear and a lot of people have made clear is the fact that, again, it's not so much about we as Republicans have to condemn it because then it'll be pinned on us. I think we have to represent who we are. And as you just laid out, we have to lay out the things that not just that we're against, but what we're for. We are saying your lifestyle and how you live your life, we have no issue. We take no issue with that. It is often believed by members of that community that we as Republicans condemn them and wish them to death. And you're saying that Jadon's post only sort of exacerbates that problem, sort of bolsters that idea. And we as a party or we as people have to say, look, I don't like the fact that they're indoctrinating children on gender ideology. I don't like drag queens in Story Hour, and I don't like gender conforming books inside libraries of children. I condemn all of that. However, your lifestyle in your private house, in your private life, be free to do those things, but we don't condemn you, nor do we wish the death upon you. Is that fair to say?
That's right. I mean, our party has universally pushed back on allowing transgender children to play in girls' sports.
Right.
As a father of a daughter, I had to experience it. My daughter played against biological men in rugby.
Wow.
So, I understand the societal issues that are impacting, our children, no question. But I think to turn this around on the Republican Party and say we don't hold values is a deflection of what Jadon actually did. And I think we need to condemn him for the way he said these things and move on and have the real conversations about whether or not biological men should be playing against women in sports. I am willing to have that. And Democrats have summarily rejected those kind of amendments that were run on the House floor. But having this conversation about whether or not people should be put to death because of their homosexuality is not a conversation that we should be having in modern day.
Couldn't
to
agree
me, it's disturbing.
more. Again, that is where the extremism goes to so many levels. But again, I didn't expect that to be. I didn't even know anything about the news. Somebody brought it to my attention. I went, "Whoa, okay."
Yeah.
So now it's like now I understand that people are thinking, where's this guy coming from? Where's the conservative values in this? Because I'll tell you, I've been a conservative. I'm 56. I've been a conservative since I was 10 years old. His point of view on this was so, out of the scope of what I've learned. Yeah, exactly. It was out of my universe as a conservative. I've never known that again, coming from having a lesbian sister. One of my best friends growing up, died of AIDS, died of complications due to AIDS, who taught me everything I knew about comedy. Was a gay man who died. And I was, again, a conservative then. I was like 16, 17 years old. Loved that person. His name is Pablo. Loved him. He was one of my best friends. So no one ever frowned on me being a conservative and having people of alternative lifestyles in my circle. So this was beyond the pale for me.
And that's why I reacted the way I did. This isn't, me being a rhino or me running away from our party or our values. This is me reacting to somebody who I think holds very disturbing views. And he could stay in the race. I don't think he should, but I think the residents of the 50th are going to have buyer's remorse already. I've had Republicans in that district reach out to me. And, the more airtime we give him, I think the more dangerous it becomes, because it's just not a good look that we have anybody running for office that would be holding those views where he believes that government should be putting people to death.
Yeah, on any side of the aisle.
Way over the top.
Absolutely right. On any side of the aisle.
I did ask him, isn't that something that the Muslims believe, is that you kill homosexuals, and we're Christians. We're supposed to be very different from that ideology.
Yeah.
That's right. That's where it was sort of amazing to me. There are, stories about, gay people being thrown off of buildings in Muslim countries.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not where we are and should be as a society. And, sometimes when you go to the extremes, they meet in the middle. And I think that's what we're seeing right now is a level of extremism that is meeting the extreme Muslim side of the conversation.
Isn't that wild? Vin Candelora, House Minority Leader, we really appreciate you calling in. Thank you, man.
Thank you.
You got it. All right, let's get another check of weather and traffic. Mark Christopher's back. He's in the BPS Lawyers Traffic Center.
Stay locked in. Reese on the radio is on WTIC News Talk 1080.
By the way, we're going to have to figure out if the big voice can do a promo for this break about the stupidest thing I read today. If we can figure out something on how to do that. I'm not doing that one today because there's so many people who want to talk about this subject matter. But we do have other news to get to, which we'll try to. More Aaron Stewart news. We'll see if we can get into that a little bit. You may have heard that during the top of the hour news with John Silva. And like I said, I told you I told him today before he got the news. He asked me, he's like, hey, did you hear the other thing? I'm like, yeah. I said, there's more. And sure enough, hour later. Stop doubting me on this. And I want to make this clear. I know a lot of you do not listen to this program. Okay? I know that you can't. You got a life. You're busy. It's just a radio show. But on Monday when I walked in here and did the program, and I was setting up for the opening monologue, as soon as I saw it was June 1st, like any other normal person, you want to know what I said when I woke up? I woke up and said, hey, it's June 1st. This is a big month for me. It was the month that I started. It's the month that I started my business, my moving company.
Black History.
No, go away. I started my moving company. It's the year that I started dating Roseanne. It's the month I should say. Started dating Roseanne, 15th, right. June 15th, right? And on the 23rd is my 7th birthday, my sobriety birthday. So it's a big month for me. That's what I was thinking when we got into June. I was like, wow, it took a long time to get to this milestone. And so many things in my life that changed, starting my own business was the first thing I'd ever done. Like I'd never done anything like that before, meeting Roseanne, falling in love with Roseanne, thinking that was never going to happen to me after the Laughs divorce. It's like that wasn't going to happen to me. I met Roseanne, looking to where I am today. And then getting sober 7 years ago in this month. It's big to me. So I wasn't even thinking about Pride Month. And sure enough, I go online and it's everywhere. And I went, I got to adjust this. And I do. I do the opening monologue and I say, don't do it. Don't engage. The objective is for you to engage. They set it up that way. And as I explained in the opening monologue today, that's what it's for. And sure enough, everybody bit. They just put it out there and they just said, come on, get us. And they bit. Just don't listen. These are rules for life, ladies and gentlemen. I'm just trying to get you through it. I had to fall down a lot. I had to scrape my knees and crash into walls to get it right. Listen to me, please. Okay? And while you're doing that, listen to this man, Mark Christopher. He's getting you home. Does he ever let you down? He knows exactly where the accidents are, as if he has a computer screen to tell him. He's in the BPS Lawyers Traffic Center. Hey,
How
Mark.
About that, huh? A whole computer screen. And this is the only one I'm going to get for 10 more years. So.
It's Reese on the radio on News Talk 1080 WTIC.
Okay. All right. We're back. Phone calls are lit up. I cannot believe that we are already 2 hours and 43 minutes into the show, and this is all we're talking about. I know they say that we shouldn't give any more attention to it. Tomorrow, we got other things to deal with. But this was big news. And look, I'm sorry. News snippets, 2 to 3 minute dedications to a story, you're never going to get it. That's the reason why we're here. I told you that's what Reese on the radio is about, is all that news and all the views that you don't get. That's what this show is for. So let's get to the phones because I know you all want to opine. I'm going to start with Lori in Glastonbury. Hello, Lori, a devout Christian to boot, who I know has something to say on the subject.
Yes, sir. Yeah, and hey, Roseanne.
Hello.
My heart hurt when I was listening to this young man. I believe he's likely misguided. It sounds like a lot of what he believes is influenced by the Westboro Baptist group.
Yeah.
And I think if someone were to take him, under their wing and correct him, and because realistically, if he's going to go by Old Testament, then we need to be stoning adulterers, we need to be stoning witches, we need to be killing a lot more people, and it's just unrealistic and unnecessary. And I think he also isn't remembering that out of the book of Ephesians, it says that we battle against flesh and blood, but we don't battle against flesh and blood, we battle against principalities and powers. Mm-hmm. So again, don't battle against flesh and blood. We battle against principalities and powers, meaning that a lot of our warfare is spiritual and needs to be, therefore, interceded for. So my heart hurts for him. I hope he is corrected and comes around to the idea that grace is unmerited favor. You can't do anything to get it except for claim Jesus as your Savior. And let him do what he needs to do way down deep inside of your heart. And so I'm sad that he is not representing Jesus well, in my opinion, because he is not representing the whole of Scripture.
Lori, well said, and thank you so much. And I'm glad that, as you said, your heart hurts for him, and you didn't admonish him. Spoken like a true Christian, and I respect that. Love you for it, too.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. You know what? Listen, there but for the grace of God, go us all.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Thank you, Lori.
Amen. Take care.
You got it. Let's go with Mark from West Hartford, our good friend. What say you after you got a chance to hear the young man?
Man, and then, my head is swimming. First of all, what's my record on outing frauds on the show? I'm pretty good, right?
I think you're okay, but hold on. Now listen, you got the kid, Jacob, what's his name? Jadon. Sorry, Jadon MacCormack. You got Pastor Dell, and you got Vin Candelora, all who called in.
So let's try to condense it. So as far as Jadon goes, you know what? I'm not going to condemn him. I can understand why somebody be that outraged. For years, they keep moving the goal. I texted you this. Mm-hmm. They keep moving the goalpost of tolerance when it comes to this stuff.
Right.
So in West Hartford, for instance, you're going to go, if you go on my Twitter account, you're going to see, I repeat, and I like to post it up there, some of the things we do. And that being said, the Dems in West Hartford are not the same as the Dems in Walton, Connecticut. In order to say, so don't think like when people go like, yeah, you're right. There are certain pockets of Dems in certain towns.
Right.
Mine is completely off the woke channel. I mean, we created a town square complete with a rainbow flag, not for the month of June, but all year long.
All year round, right.
We built a stage. Yeah. But listen, let's get back to the frauds. How much time has Vincent Candelora spent with you on here talking about DCF? We have children, actually not hypotheticals with nooses or statements or anything. We actually have children being neglected, harmed, they're committing suicide, they're being sexually assaulted, they're being inappropriately touched in school, they're being murdered by stepfathers. How much time has Vincent Candelora spent talking about DCF and the changes that need to be done?
He has not, but no. I totally get where you're coming from, the outrage on that. And guess what? I know he's listening, and I'm sure he'll be happy to now that you're mentioning, so he has to. But that being said,
well, go ahead.
No, but that being said, hold on. Yeah. That being said, Mark, instead of us going into the weeds, because I know I know your issues with a lot of the Republican Party. That being said, let's talk about how they are reacting to this, because I think this plays the most important role of the day, is that many people, as even Jacob Dell said, he felt like Republicans were stabbing this kid in the back. And as Vin Candelora says, we're not stabbing him in the back, we're stabbing him in the front, because we condemn anybody who would say that a person, because of their lifestyle, deserves death. He's got a point, no?
Listen, so what are we going to do now? We're going to take hypothetical.
No. This kid's not talking about hypotheticals, Mark. Come on, let's be honest.
So we really think that that this is definitely a stance. He's going to be on a crusade. He's going to try to grab some.
He wants to legislate that way, Mark. Mark, that's what he said.
Like all he kept saying was that this was what his goal is, to come into office and change the laws.
Yeah, you heard me even ask him. You heard me ask him whether or not he was going to govern at the will of the people, or he was going to do this on his own against their will. I mean, that's the reason why I asked him.
I bring it back. I guess I want to bring it back to reality. What are the chances of this kid getting elected?
No. That's fair.
We got 2 hours invested on something that's not going to happen.
Indeed, but again,
we have something happening. Like, where was Vincent to condemn? And listen, I'm sorry to do this, but where is he condemning what I put up? We've got a church in West Hartford. They're luring 9-year-olds in with free pizza and a free show with a question and answer with drag queens. Where is he? That you condemn. That's actually happening.
Fair enough.
Okay, I get it. You're telling me that this kid, this is what he really wants to do. I'm going to tell you something. There's only so much time you could devote to something that, in all reality, what percentage do you give it that this kid's going to
no. Listen, forget. I mean, if there's anything, the young man tanked this campaign just for being on this program to say that, without a doubt. No. But my point was, again, as I was saying to you, is that the subject at hand, and trust me, I'm with you on that, where Republicans should be on things like DCF, where they should be on a bright path. These are things that they have got to absolutely come out and condemn, and the people who are allowing it to happen also need to be condemned for it. That's 100%. I stand with you on that. You know that I talk about it all day. We bring in the guests who are victims of this on the program.
I get it, but I just wanted to close with this, 20 seconds. That day he was on there with you, did you notice he couldn't look me in the eye when I asked him, Samantha, the mother of the child who was inappropriately touched, they said, we're trying to get a hold of you. He's not answering phone calls. He's not answering emails. Will you meet with Samantha? Did you see how he had to look at me? He basically looked over his shoulder. He has yet to answer a phone call or get back to us. He's a fraud. This is the same guy during the height of COVID. This is how they play it. House Republicans urge transparency with the use of federal pandemic aid.
Mark, before we go in the weeds.
Who got PPP money? No. What I'm saying is he's another fraud. This would be like me 3 years ago telling you about Aaron Stewart.
Mark,
you were giving her a pass until she
Who gave her a pass?
He's a fraud. He's a fraud.
Who gave her a pass? Who gave her a pass? Did you just accuse me of giving somebody a pass?
I didn't say pass.
Oh, okay.
You wanted to have her on to explain herself.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
You, Vincent won't come on and explain himself grabbing PPP money during COVID while he was condemning all these businesses getting PPP money.
All right, well, I have his direct line, and I will tell him to respond, okay?
Listen, the last thing is, I just want everybody to remember what I'm saying.
You just gave me 20 seconds.
5 minutes of nonsense. So just remember this. Aaron Stewart had a charity golf tournament year after year that made a lot of money. Just remember that one for the future.
500.
Okay? What?
Hold on. It was, I wrote it down.
Yeah.
Between $400,000 and $500,000 is what they raised.
Wow, over the years. So just everybody kind of remember that. Of course, she's got her campaign money too, but my crystal ball is saying we might hear something about that in the near future.
I think we already are.
I'm not telling you something that you probably don't already know.
You know that. All right, have a good one. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
He always wants to go down the weeds with it. Look, God bless Mark. He always wants to. He needs an opportunity to go after everybody he needs to go out to. But I need to stay on one subject. That's the only reason why. I have to push him out sometimes. I'm just like, okay, go. Let me get Bob on the phone real quick. He's been on hold for a bit. Hey, Bob, thanks for holding.
No, I can't believe what I just heard. How did the state get in this position? Because of the Dems. He's talking about D.C., Division of Child Services.
Yes.
Because of the Dems. But we had COVID. You have state employees, as I'm talking to you right now, who still aren't even back at work. They're working from home.
We still have people working from home today?
Oh, yeah. Still. Another thing.
Yeah.
Another thing. Thong, I said his name wrong. Tong is going after Aaron Stewart. Okay?
Yeah, just saw that.
How about looking at Lamont and his wife, the CEO of a pharmaceutical company, who got the bid for the vaccines?
That's the reason why we have to have John Bolton in. You know that A.G. Tong's not going to go after one of his own.
Well, that's what I'm saying. And you got Mark here, whatever, from West Hartford.
Yeah.
All these problems were created by the Dems. Yeah, I agree with them on certain things. The Republicans, they got to ramp it up and start fighting.
Yeah.
But these Dems, I've been in this state all my life. They crucified this state and the corruption and the voter fraud, Reese.
Yeah, no, I know.
Voter fraud we got. We got Wanda in Bridgeport. Okay, now Tong won't go over the voter rolls and get off the take the dead people off, and they won't scrutinize mail-in voting.
No,
I mean, really?
Yeah. Oh no, they went one step further. They passed a law that gives no excuse absentee voting.
Yes.
Correct, they codified no excuse for anybody. Someone who can stand in line, or somebody can stand in line, and someone who's an able-bodied voter can now just ask for a ballot.
Right. So now we have direct and in-your-face voter corruption, voter fraud. Now, isn't that a beautiful thing?
Couldn't agree with you more. And you know what's going to change it, though? I'll tell you this, is that the people of the state are going to have to look in or smell the stench of all of this and say, you know what, this isn't what I voted for. I want to win, but I don't want to win like this. That's what's got to happen.
It's not right.
You're 100% right. I agree with you. Got to go. Bob, thanks. I appreciate it. No, thank you for holding, man. I appreciate you. Roseanne, it has been kind of a day. Can you believe it? We're already 1 hour away from closing it up. It was a long day today. I was on WBEN this morning. I'm here doing this show. It's been like, it's a whirlwind. It's like the day just passes by. We're already into the evening, evening hours. You haven't eaten any food, though.
I haven't eaten yet.
Are you famished yet? Are you like?
I'm pretty hungry. Yeah.
You're pretty hungry? Okay, so you want to take a minute so you can sit down and eat, so you can get some food in you?
I'm good.
You sure you're okay? I can wait. Okay, you can wait?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Hey, look. There's no Red Sox game today. It's tomorrow. And look who's on the air today.
Oh.
You were barely on the air. It's just like
story of my life.
You were barely on the air today. But people still love you. They like seeing you here. They do. They do.
Like window dressing.
Absolutely. Your apple pie.
The Macy's Christmas window display.
What do you think people think when they see somebody, like when some mom puts the apple pie in the window? That's Norman Rockwell. Your apple pie.
Oh.
You're Norman Rockwell. You know? You don't get it? You don't think so?
Why are you sucking up? What's wrong? What are you doing? What'd you do wrong?
I didn't do anything wrong. I am not that man anymore.
No,
I used to be. I was a horrible person back in the day. But who wasn't? What do you think of this conversation today? It's been out there, huh?
I'm trying to do my best to be
as objective as possible.
Radio correct.
Okay. When we come back at the top of the hour after we do music news, I want to explain what happened here today. And those of you who are left of center, Democrats, or even leftists, you are going to learn something amazing about what happened today. And I want Republicans to listen even closer to what happened. You may have missed it, but when I explain it to you, your eyes will go, you know what? Reese is right. But then again, as Reggae Don says, what else is new? I know a guy who's always right about the traffic. His name is Mark Christopher. He's in the BPS Lawyers Traffic Center. Extraordinary! Mark Christopher in the BPS Lawyers Traffic Center.
It's Reese on the radio on News Talk 1080 WTIC.
All right, let's do the thing, Roseanne. News. You really do hate it when I do that?
I don't hate it. It's obnoxious.
Yes, it's supposed to be.
Well,
you say it enough, it becomes earworm. So now when you hear the song...
You want to hear something really annoying?
Yes.
I was actually doing that last week. News! And I'm going, oh my God.
That's the reason why you do it.
Kick him in the forehead.
Now when people hear that song, I Love Music, they automatically now go, news! They just do it. Anyway.
You're a terrible person.
Today's birthdays include Kelly Jones, the frontman for the Stereophonics, turns 52. Kerry King, guitarist and co-founder of the group Slayer, turns 62. We just mentioned this woman, Denise Williams, famous for Let's Hear It for the Boy. She turns 75 today. And Susie Quattro, the pioneering rock singer and bassist, turned 76. On this day in music in 1967, the Doors released their breakthrough single, Light My Fire. The song topped the Billboard Hot 100 and defined the band's sound. In 1967, Aretha Franklin's powerful version of the song, Respect, hit number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100s. In 1977, Bob Marley and the Wailers released the landmark album Exodus, featuring classics like Jammin', Waitin' in Vain, and Three Little Birds. That's a song that you really like. You love that song. And in 1972, this list would never be complete without mentioning either the Rolling Stones or the Beatles. So today, it's the Rolling Stones. In 1972, the Rolling Stones launched their major North American tour in support of Exile on Main Street at Vancouver's Public Coliseum, with Stevie Wonder opening for the band. Yeah, I don't like him. The tour became one of the highest grossing rock tours up till that time. Let's get to traffic and weather, because our friend Mark Christopher, a music impresario. Ha-ha! See, I know that word. He's in the BPS Lawyers Traffic Center.
Sorry. Oh. All right, hang on.
It's
I'll
okay.
I'll look that up. Sorry. I think it's good, though. I think it's something about knowledge, I believe.
That's right.
This is about knowledge?
Yes.
Okay.
There you go.
I'll take that any day. Thank you, Reese. And I cannot believe you don't like Stevie Wonder.
I know. You can't believe I don't like Ray Charles either.
From politics to news to music to movies and anything above the sun.
And outer space and beyond, it's Reese on the radio. Damn, he's good. Only on News Talk 1080 WTIC.
Nate wants to know what about the donuts from yesterday. First of all, I had 3 donuts and a cinnamon bun. Thank you, Roland. I had a cinnamon bun. So yes, they were fantastic, and they, of course, are from Harvest Bakery. Beautiful place. Scott, thank you so much again for dropping by. I gave some to some folks over at our home and our apartment. I handed some out. In fact, many people said thank you for providing them with their breakfast food this morning. You were about to say something?
Yeah, I asked you.
Yeah?
If this is why you didn't eat your lunch.
No, it wasn't why I didn't eat my lunch. I just didn't eat my lunch, which I ate it for dinner later on in the day, but I ate it because it was there.
Right, but you had how many?
What? How many?
Uh-huh.
4.
And these aren't tiny little
pastries
either.
These are bountiful things. Cinnamon bun was bedangin'. It's like, darr. It's huge. It was fantastic. It's beautiful. Loved every bit of it. It was moist.
So no more,
What, sugar? No, I can't have sugar for another 3 weeks.
3 weeks?
Yeah, maybe 4.
You had a year's worth of sugar.
Maybe.
Good grief.
That's the reason why I can't. I lost a lot of weight. Hey, Bones is in the house. What's going on? My brother-in-law, all the way out in Odessa, Texas. Thank you for checking out the show. Please tell the family I say hello. I want to say this about our conversation with Jadon MacCormack, who's running in the 50th district. My conversation with Jacob Dell, as well as my conversation with Vin Candelora. Which, by the way, Mark in West Hartford, Vin Candelora says, this guy's way out of line. We're going to get you two in a room. Here's what you may have missed in all of this. What you all sort of realized, and I've got the proof of it right here on this little device called a cell phone. You all responded to Jadon in a way that you should find respectable. And you should all applaud yourselves. Let me explain why. What you showed people on the left was that you are not the thing that they told you were, or told everyone else that you were. Even Reggae Don was in the chat room applauding Vin Candelora. And he hates Republicans, would never vote for them. But he saw what Vin Candelora said when he called here, and a Democrat said, well said, Mr. Candelora. He said that. Whatever it is that's being said about Republicans when it comes to the condemnation of people, of the LGBTQ community, was absolutely eradicated in that view on this show today. Because what conservatives said on this program, many of which you are familiar with, who call this program, said, and I quote, "We don't like the indoctrination of children. We do not like transgenders in women's sports. We don't any of that, but we do not. We absolutely condemn the idea that anyone should take their lives, that anyone should ever subject them to death, hanging, or anything of the sorts. We just don't want you harming our children. And we're not saying that that's what you do, but do not harm our children. Do not get into our women's sports. Do not go into our women's locker room. Please respect their spaces." Not one person said, "We are not hateful. We are not killers. We are not people who wish the death on that community." We're not. We just do not believe that you should indoctrinate our children, you should harm our children, or ever put them in harm's way. And that's what everybody said here. And you should recognize that. You showed who you were. That when, as many would believe Jadon to be, when the most extreme who say that they represent this party come on this program and say that they should be eliminated, who says that the Bible says that they should be executed. What did Republicans do? Did Republicans turn around and say, well, no, they said, no, this guy, he clearly does not understand the Bible. He doesn't represent our ideals. And everybody got to see you say it. You weren't coerced. You weren't made to say those things. You said them in your heart. And you spoke them loudly. And you're saying them online. You're saying, I do not agree with their lifestyle, but I would never, ever wish death on them. They can't hang their hat on that anymore. Nor should they be allowed to. No matter how extreme anyone gets, Republicans showed up and they said, these are our values. We understand that people have the life and liberty to live the way that they do, but they should not inflict that on other people without their consent. That's it. That's it. And you showed that, just like that. So don't look at this thing as, oh, I can't believe this guy. Yeah, sure. I looked at it and I said, I couldn't believe it. I just looked at the post and I just said, okay, let's have some fun with what this post has to say. And then he says what he says. And I go, okay, little more than I expected. But I love it when they reveal themselves. I love it when they come in and tell us who they are. He didn't have any problem with telling us that. I didn't have a problem with telling him where I disagree. I didn't have a problem to tell him that he completely misunderstood my opening monologue, which he took as me saying capitulating or hiding in the darkness. I never said any of that. I said simple and plain. Stand for what you believe in, but you don't have to editorialize. I believe in the nature of people. I understand how people operate. And when people see things that are wrong, regardless of their ideological stripe, when they see things that are wrong, they will respond. And they will go, I don't like that. That's wrong. That's unsafe. That's harmful. I can rely, and as much as I know people can say this, that, and the other thing, I rely on the enduring human spirit. And I'll go one step further. I can rely on, and I've always been able to rely on, the enduring American spirit. Because it's who we are. I know who we are. And when we see things are wrong that put people in harm's way, we react. If you saw a kid running out into the street and was running into traffic, there are some of us who would look around and go, hey, anybody watching this kid? And there are many of us who would jump in front of that car to save its life. Right? And I can rely on that. I can. I can do that blindly. And that's why I said, when you go into these things, go into them strategically. They do not have your best interest. They do not. The pride movement is to be as explosive and over the top as they can. It is to be extreme. Because they know that their behavior will be protected. But the moment you step out of line, the spotlight is on you. And that is in every facet. As I tried to explain, it's in every facet of our lives. Think about all the extremists as they are. And you know who they are. Hamas and Hezbollah. Fire a missile from a hospital. The hospital gets destroyed when you destroy the missile launcher. You destroyed the hospital! Yeah, but there was a missile there. But the hospital! No one cares. They don't care that the missile launcher was there. They only care about the damage done to the hospital. You bombed a hospital. And you're like, but what was I supposed to do? They're firing missiles from there. Protect the hospital. But then they would have kept right. Nope. And you're like, asking yourself, what was I going to do? And that's what these extremists do. Black Lives Matter. All lives matter. Bigot! All the people heard was bigot. It's the only word they hear. All lives matter. And then when it comes out in the news report, a bigot was revealed today when he said all lives matter, ignoring the ever so important social construct of Black Lives Mattering. And you're like, what did I do? I thought I was doing the right thing. No, you did not atone. You did not acknowledge that Black Lives Matter, and therefore you've committed a sin. But I care about all lives. But this is a conversation about Black lives. You did not adhere. And you wonder, it's like, what did I get for all that? I thought I was being inclusive. No, sir, that's not what you were doing. And we're going to condemn you for it. So you have to be strategic.
We will let you know
what
inclusive means.
That's right. We'll let you know what inclusive means.
We'll bring you a list.
That's how it works. So what do you think is happening in the Pride thing? Yeah. Ride a bike naked. Wiggle around. Yeah.
Why are they always fat and gooey and hairy? Why aren't they ever
It's
attractive?
extreme. The objective is to be extreme.
Never have any attractive topless people walking around.
The objective is to be extreme, to get the reaction you just gave. Ugh. You're like, why does it have to be that? It's like, oh, and your reaction right there, immediately, homophobe, look at her.
It's always like some midget with a peg leg and
homophobe and ableist.
A bulge on the side of their head.
Exactly.
And fur on their back.
Again,
and got breast implants and a wiener, and you're like, what is happening right now? It's inclusivity.
Yeah, exactly. That's the whole deal. That's what I'm trying to explain to you.
It's so creepy.
So the objective is to be so extreme that you have to react. They understand your human nature, right? They understand the human nature, that this is not normal. And when you don't see normal, they expect you to react as such. And when you do, they point the finger at you and say, look at him. He's not inclusive to this freak show that you just described. Right?
I guess.
And you don't know how to react to it. You just go, but wait a minute. You don't think that that's crazy too?
I don't know how to react?
No, I'm saying that they don't.
the average person.
No, I'm saying like they look at that and they just go, wait a minute. Like if somebody who is called a bigot, they were looking at it and just go, wait a minute. Aren't you seeing what I'm seeing? I was like, yes, we are seeing what you're seeing. But it's beautiful. And can you not accept it?
Yes, queen. Yes.
You should have an open mind to that freak. But the bottom line is that what are you going to get for it?
Do you remember when they used to hospitalize those people, put them in the insane asylums?
What, people who were, that's another story, and Geraldo Rivera's going to have to pay his sins for that. But anyway, bottom line is that's what's going to happen. And if you're not strategic or don't recognize that you're being lured in to say these things so that you can be admonished for it.
Right. They want you to say something so that they can yell at you.
Exactly.
Right.
Or that you can be the bad guy. And no matter what you say, you were an intolerant bigot. And that's more important.
You know what? That's fine. I am content being, I am an intolerant bigot. I am a NIMBY. I am all of the things. I'm okay with it.
Remember what I told you have to do when you realize those things, right? You have to strategically know how to respond to them. You know, when these folks come to me, I'm good. Look, you can't be like me. Not everybody can. But you know what? We should have a seminar. We should have a seminar to teach people how to deal with it.
I concur.
I mean, I can tell you in a heartbeat how to deal with people who come at you and tell you that nonsense. And I just look at them and I just go, okay, let's see where the narrative is going. As soon as I know where the narrative is, I flip it on them. And they don't know how to respond. They immediately back. You know what? Maybe we shouldn't have this talk. Yeah, maybe we shouldn't. I don't think you're prepared.
Diversity
of thought. Diversity of thought. Remember that? Completely blew her mind.
You can totally be diverse as long as it fits in this clear shot glass.
Yeah. Roseanne's talking about at the, what do you call it? No Kings rally in Avon. where I said to a woman holding a sign about diversity, and all I asked her was, diversity, you're for diversity? And she saw a black man, and she went, yes, I'm all for diversity. Yay, diversity. And I went, what about diversity of thought? I don't know what that, I don't know what you mean.
I don't want to have this, I'm done with this conversation. I'm done now. I'm done.
Yep. Diversity of thought. Who would have thought that was the Achilles heel?
That's an educated white woman right there.
Oh, that's a good point. Anyway, we got to take a break. We'll come back. Let's see if we can get to, I'll get to a couple of phone calls. 860-522-WTIC, 860-522-9842, and we'll wrap this puppy up. And then tomorrow we got the Red Sox game.
Oh, so I'll be back?
No. At 1:35. And then we've got Peter Tomaskowicz, I think I'm pronouncing his name right, the lawyer for Joe Magnano, Officer Joe Magnano. He'll be on the program at 5 o'clock tomorrow. We'll tell you all the details when we get back. Mark Christopher, he's got more important things to tell you, like the traffic out there. He's in the BPS Lawyers Traffic Center. Hey, Mark.
The Odyssey app lets you jump back to the moments you missed from WTIC News Talk 1080. Download the free Odyssey app. Search WTIC News Talk 1080 and tap earlier today to get started.
Have I ever told you today that you look magnanimous?
Magnanimous?
You look absolutely magnificent, glamorous, and fabulous.
Thank you.
You do. You look absolutely fantastic.
What do you want?
Nothing. I just want to tell you how beautiful you are.
Something weird going on with you today.
Nah, there's nothing. I just don't, I'm looking at you now. I'm looking at you in the camera, and I'm like, man.
Why don't I look better in person, don't I?
You're always going to run with that. You look fantastic.
Thank
you.
Did
you hear the story about Scott Paley from CBS News?
Is that the guy that got fired from 60 Minutes?
Yeah. I got to tell you, I am absolutely happy they got rid of him. And they need to do more. They need to do more. They need to fire a lot of people over there. I'm hoping that they do eventually. Just fire a lot of people over there. He'll get another job, but I just don't want him there anymore.
Oh, he'll just start a podcast like all the other.
Yeah, what is his name?
Jim
Acosta,
Who's
Don.
That bald female with the blonde hair?
Joyless Reed, as what's the name calls her. Joy Reid.
Can she read?
No, she cannot.
Good grief.
She went to Harvard.
You got freaking Tucker Carlson.
Yes. You can't stop calling him the F word, can you?
Candace Owens. You got all these morons that were just so bad at their jobs. And they're like, they had nothing. I'm going to start a podcast. I'm going to get all my other famous.
They do really, really well. I ain't hating on them.
Katie Couric has a podcast now.
Wow.
I mean, good grief, people.
Can you believe that used to be America's sweetheart?
I used to love Katie Couric.
Did you?
Yeah, now she's all TDS.
She was always that person.
Was she?
She was always that person.
Well, in my defense, I was really young when Katie Couric was.
Listen, I've been around so many people in these newsrooms who are talking about, I was just recently at a press conference at the Secretary of State's office here in Connecticut. And I heard a reporter say something about Betsy McCoy that I immediately looked at that person and said, wow, you're a real objective journalist. And I just looked, and they knew the minute that I said it, it was just like, you're kind of a cretin to talk about somebody like that. That's someone that you cover, and that's what you think of them out loud. Like, I'm sure that doesn't show up in your reporting. That's who these people are. That's why I say I don't mind they get tired, because they're not doing good jobs. They're not doing the job they're supposed to do anyway.
Well, apparently they don't have time.
Yeah, this is also true.
There's no time to do investigative journalism
in
Connecticut.
That's right. They don't have the time.
Sorry.
Look at that. Even Reggae Don says that Roseanne's really looking good today.
Thank you.
Look at that. Let's get another check of traffic and weather. My good friend Mark Christopher's back. He's in the BPS Lawyers Traffic Center. What's up, everybody? You know who it is.
You know who it is.
You know who it is. It's Reese on the radio. Frederick Douglass of the 21st century.
It's WTIC News Talk 1080.
I got to be honest. The one thing about when we were in Texas that was great for people who listen to the show online is the stuff we talk about behind the scenes. Because I remember the first time Roland and I ever did it, it was like, we can hear you, right? And we're like, yeah, that's kind of the element of the show. You get to hear the stuff that we talk about offline because it is kind of entertaining. If you had heard this conversation, forget about it.
It's true. The conversation, the topic is
the topic was true.
It's just not.
Yeah, it wasn't good for the show. It just wasn't at all. Look at everybody feeling how beautiful you're looking. I think it's the salmon, the pastel salmon color you're wearing.
Thank you.
It kind of works with your complexion. I'm not going to lie, it looks good. I actually fixed the lighting so that you can glow a little bit.
Thank you.
So I just, it kind of made you look, I look, as I always do, a little tired-eyed and beat up, because I am married to you, so that's what kind of goes. This look is,
well-earned.
Well-earned,
yeah.
Exactly.
He used to have a head full of hair and his beard used to be black.
That's right, yeah, and then I married Roseanne and
I've done a good job. That's right. Listen, I am making you so that no other woman wants you.
Yeah, this is absolutely
this is marriage
true.
Security.
No women. No. Yeah, women do not love Reese.
Yes, they do.
They do not love Reese. Don't say that. Don't get that in her head.
They do. I can't hear Roland, but yes, they do.
They do not.
Yes, they do. Let's ask Joey.
Ugh.
I'm going to text Joey and ask him.
Yeah, Joey really, he was the one who brought that home. He was like, they really love Reese. He was like,
oh my God, the way they come running up to you. Oh my God, Reese. And they all want to hug you. Can I hug you? It's so cute.
I think it's adorable.
Cute. Yeah.
And I love seeing them. It's nice to be liked. It is. I mean, don't get me wrong. I was just saying during the show, it's like, I really love that people love the show. It means everything to me. And it's not in a way to sort of like, I told these people. No, it's like, I really love.
You're producing a good product and people like it.
It means a lot. Yeah. And the people who recognize it, who kind of hang on it every day, is always fun.
I can't stop thinking about the donuts. I want to hurry up and get home and get some donuts.
So it was a good thing to bring on those donuts. And I gave some away. I gave some away. I told you.
I'm not making dinner. We're eating donuts tonight.
Let's holler at Christine real quick. Christine out in Middletown. What's going on?
Hey, Reese. Good job with interviewing Jadon there. Well, I support the First Amendment totally. I do have a problem with someone who wants to publicly execute me just for my existence. But he's got a right to do say what he said, Reese.
100%. And I think, what do you think of what I said about Republicans showing exactly who they are by coming together and saying this is not what we represent, and which totally pushes back. Be careful on the roads. Maybe we'll find out what's going on out there with Mark Russell. No, but what do you think of the whole idea that I said that even with this young man who's making these claims, that Republicans did not wait, and Republicans came out, listeners as well as politicians, it came out and says, look, this is not what we represent. We understand that people are going to say what they're going to say, but we have to admonish that because this is not something we stand for. And I think that was well displayed today.
Yes, I agree. And when I go to the Capitol or to the LOB, it is many Connecticut GOP people that will welcome me with open arms and not Connecticut Democrats. And I will agree with Jadon about one thing. I'm sick of Pride Month. Why is it Pride Month this, Pride Month that? He's got a good point about that.
It feels like it's always Pride Month, though.
Almost there. But Christine, I appreciate you. Thanks for holding on, okay?
Thank you. Have a great day.
Thank you. You too.
This man developed into a fuller flower. This throbbing thrust of manly power consumed my every waking hour. A ladies' man.
Are you calling me a ladies' man?
I felt the urge, that awful itch. It mounted to a fever pitch. I had me girls, no matter which. A ladies' man.
I think we found a new intro.
I so hate both of you. This is what happens. This was going to happen now when you two get together. It was like this representation of taking me down. Would you text this to him?
Absolutely not. This was not me. No.
I am not a ladies' man. I never have been. I was a horrible dating, person ever at any time in my life.
Hey.
Yes.
I got a question for you.
Yes, sir.
And it's a deep question.
Sure. I'm scared.
What number marriage are you on?
I'm on my 4th.
But
That
he's
doesn't
not a
mean-
ladies' man.
I'm not a ladies' man. I failed a lot at marriage and relationships.
What do you think a ladies' man does?
Usually
fails a
he's
lot.
successful in just getting ladies.
Yeah.
I wasn't that successful. No, I wasn't. And I wasn't that successful in relationships. I just did what I wanted to do, which is why all of those marriages failed. And now I finally gave that up, and I decided to give everything to one woman. Now I don't get anything.
You get stuff.
I mean,
You got clean underwear.
That's true.
You get 3 hot meals a day.
that's true.
You get bullied.
Well, at least 2. Well, at least 2. We don't always eat dinner.
You get bullied.
Yes, I do get bullied.
Yeah.
And I look, to be honest with you, I look well kept.
Yeah, you
I do, right? I feel well kept and well cared for.
You smell nice.
For the most part. When I'm not tired. But I really do think that I'm doing pretty well.
I think that's a great intro for your show, though.
No, it is not.
That was dope, right?
That was
Yeah,
good. That was
you would
good.
think that was dope, wouldn't you?
I feel like we should do a whole segment.
Mhm.
Have like your exes call in.
Oh man!
Oh,
one
no.
One of them did before.
Yeah,
though.
well, my ex-wife.
Yeah,
Mary.
Yeah, Mary called in.
Just that. Just
Yeah,
one.
actually, the second one called in once, too. Very
Yeah.
early. Yeah, very early when I was filling in. Yeah, Claudia
Who-
called.
oh, I
Claudia.
don't remember
Oh, that was
her.
before you, yeah. Claudia called in once
I think we
as
should
well.
put out a little casting call.
Hey, I'm doing pretty well. I actually have great relationships with 3 of my 4 ex-wives.
Damn.
See if she caught that.
Damn.
I told you.
Did you-
This marriage is blood in, blood out.
Blood in, blood out.
Only way out is
I
death.
meant 3, 2
One
of
of
my
us.
3
Yeah.
ex-wives. That's what I meant to say.
One of us
Jeez.
leaves this marriage when God calls us home.
God calls us home.
From
I know that.
natural
I would
causes.
never, to be honest with you, I wouldn't know what to do if you and I weren't married. You would become such a part of me and who I am. I don't think I could ever be without you.
I already told you when I die, I don't want you to be happy.
Damn.
I don't. He wants me to be happy if he dies first, but I don't want you to be happy. Without
I do. I want, listen to me. Listen to me.
You're a better person
Do
than
you
I am.
understand?
That's just men and women.
That's
guys.
true. I will tell you this. Do you know why I want to haunt you in the event that I will? Because I want to see exactly how you treat the next guy. Because if you treat him well, I'm definitely haunting you. Definitely. It's like there's going to be a miserable haunting. But if you give him the same, if not worse, like if you put him under the pressure, like literally.
I'm definitely it's gonna be a much older, much wealthier man.
I'm already.
What did Kevin Hart say? His wife called him, and all she heard was fun in the background, and she immediately got upset.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
I don't think Roseanne gets upset when I'm having fun. In fact, she wants me to have fun,
I
which
do.
is
I wish
weird.
you would.
Nah,
that's because you're unlike any other creature on earth.
You're sick.
What? Because I'm a curmudgeon?
You're a sick man.
I just don't believe in fun.
You're a sick man.
What did you marry me for?
Well, that's because so you can have fun. I like it when you have fun. I love it when you're having fun. That's fantastic. I can sit back and just mind my business, and you have all the fun in the world.
I can't let you mind your own business. It's not a thing.
No kidding.
Yeah.
No kidding. What's the next thing that you want us to do? You want us to drive to Pennsylvania. Tell everybody what you want us to do.
Yeah, go on the oldest railroad in the country, the Strasburg Railroad.
Mm-hmm. You want me to drive all the way down to Pennsylvania to take a train ride.
It's a 7-mile train ride.
So when y'all do that, I'm gonna just ride in the back, and you can drop me off at Waffle House because that's the nearest Waffle House is in Pennsylvania. So
Awful waffle.
you can just drop me off there.
I'd be happy to do that for you. Of course, I would definitely need the company because Roseanne is she's a bad backseat driver, and if I have to go all the way
I'm a
to
terrible passenger seat driver. What
That's
are you talking
true.
about?
But nonetheless, she wants me to drive all the way down there to take a 7-mile train ride.
Yeah, why?
Because I love trains.
Because I married
Sheldon Cooper.
Sheldon Cooper.
Right. But I love trains.
I like Sheldon Cooper.
But you want me to go down there, drive all the way down there for a train. We can't just do a train here. There are trains here.
Did you see the train at Wegmans?
Yes, the one on top of it.
Yeah, that was pretty cool, right?
Every time I see one, I film it. Every time. I have at least 4 different videos of trains at Wegmans.
Sheldon Cooper.
Okay, so I just love trains.
No, it's cute. It's adorable.
Yeah, but I don't think I want to drive all the way to Pennsylvania for a train.
It's like a touch of the tizzy.
Somebody told me there's a train right here in Connecticut that I can do.
Yeah.
There is, right?
There's a couple of them, but some of them are meant for kids.
Oh.
He'll do it. So the one in Pennsylvania, it's an old coal-fed steam engine.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
I know.
That's old school.
I know you.
Yeah.
I'll find the oldest old man thing.
What does that smell like?
The coal?
Probably smells like butter
Gold.
pecan.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
I don't know.
No, it just
butter
smelled
pecan
like
and Ben
burnt
Gay.
coal is not, you should not inhale it. It is dangerous for you to inhale it. That's why those guys never really live long because, what did they say? Like a charcoal briquette, like, when they used to, when you do the cookout.
Yeah.
They say, you put a steak on charcoal briquette. Somebody said, I think it was exactly like smoking a whole pack of cigarettes.
Yeah, it's very carcinogenic.
Yeah, very a lot of carcinogens in that process. So if you're in a coal-fired train, you're just inhaling that stuff directly right into the lungs. I mean, you're freebasing it, for crying out loud, and that can't be good for the lungs at all. Primarily, I would almost suggest that it was just as dangerous as pneumono ultramicroscopic silicovolcanoconiosis.
Damn.
That's not how you say that word.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Prove me wrong.
I'll call the boy.
Look at it, because the boy knows it. That's exactly what it is. It's called black lung.
It sounds different when he says it.
Yeah, it does, but it's black lung. And, yeah.
The black lung.
I got the black lung, Papa. That's what it is. And that's from working in the coal mine. So imagine you're doing a coal-fired train, and that's just heated coal right in the lungs.
Are you saying you don't want to ride the train?
I just want to I'll tell you this. It's dangerous, but I want to do it. I want to ride on the train, but I want to fire up the coal.
Oh.
I have to do it at least once.
Big black guy, I'm sure they'll let you do it.
No, I don't want to inhale the coal, though. I want to do it, but I don't want to inhale the
You're
coal.
this big Hulk in black. I'm sure they'll let you shovel a couple of,
charcoal briquettes.
Let you get a couple of scoops in there.
Yeah, but I would have to, shove it in and then get out of there.
Yeah, I wouldn't. There's no part of me. Manual labor.
Will they let us walk on top of the train? Even if it's standing still.
Can I get you to the train first?
That's what I would love to do.
Good grief. Black lung's racist.
Michael B., scallywag extraordinaire, says black lung is racist. Sorry, it's no white lung. Oh. I so hate you. By the way, this song, I hate it because it's about trains. This makes me... I hate that stupid song. This is over. I want to go home. I'm going to come back and do this all over again. Anyway, we'll be back.
Wait, what's the sound of the
hoot?
There you
That's
go.
the song. You love that.
I do.
Do the locomotion. Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. Thanks, Boris. Anyway, Essex and Thomaston.
Yeah, and then there's a dinner cruise in Lady Kate.
The Essex Steam Train is what they're talking about. Okay, we got to look that up. Google the Thomaston train station. You will love it, Michael B. says. Mm-hmm. And then do a dinner cruise on Lady Kate cruise ship, Craig in the car says. All right, all of these are great. Okay, we'll look them up. Absolutely. All right, we got to get up out of here. As I always say, radio is free, so we thank you for paying attention. Remember to keep JC in your hearts and in your minds. Sean Patrick, we love you and we miss you. Remember that panic is not planning, so plan your work and work your plan. Me, I'm Reese on the radio. She is Roseanne on the radio. Say goodnight, Roseanne.
Good night, Roseanne.